After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast.
Pretend you like me.
Episode 489. Today is Monday, January 24th, 2022, as we are recording. I can't believe it's almost the end of January already.
I know.
My name is Marlisha. I'm also known as Lady Vertico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad you found us. We hope you see something that you like and that you will continue to join us. You can just press the little subscribe button on your right and hit the little bell gently so that you can get notifications of when we post podcasts. If you are returning, we're always glad to see you back. And if you are new or returning and in the shadows, please feel free to join us officially if you'd like. You can just, like I said, that with the bell and all that. And you can also join us at the PHN home page, which is where all the alongs and the camaraderie and all the fun stuff takes place. So the information for that is in the description box below the video. It's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's how you reach us. And again, that's in the description box below the video. Okay, how many?
I have way too many. I think I have 11. Let me check.
I have 9, I think.
I don't know how I managed to get 11.
However, did you manage it? That is a reference.
Well, especially since I know I lost parts of days falling asleep.
Well, I know that most of my stuff was done during the podcast, but somehow I got a couple other ones.
Well, because you actually sat and knit for a little bit while we were talking, which you don't normally do, which I wish you would do more often. Let's see. Where am I showing up?
I need to have you take a look at the newest one because it doesn't look right to me.
Okay. And we will discuss it in a mysterious way.
A rude way. Rude child.
When we get to that point in the podcast. There we go. I had to find my show notes because I made them in a rush. Because I was falling asleep while talking earlier, so I had to take a nap.
I want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes for Talia.
Thank you. I'm old now.
Ren has set up the thread. Now?
Yep. Well, even more old now.
She's approaching older than dirt status.
Yep. Because I don't get to go backwards. I just become older and older and older.
I'm a tennis ball. I go back and forth.
Sorry, my show notes are taking a couple seconds to load because I think that they're just being dumb. Let me try this again. Go back to the drive. Sometimes I need to convince it forcefully that I want to see it. Oh, I guess I'll stir my tea while it's thinking about whether or not.
You can talk about your tea if you have more than me.
Yeah, I think we pretty much know I have more than you. So let me stir this. I always have wondered if I should be doing my designs in a separate area like you do your yarn. Since I'm not showing them, I'm just showing a bag. If that should fall under shop news.
Well, we have something like that. We just never use it. I think we have something like that. We'll see when we get further on.
What I might do is I might do that when I do my shop news. In which case,
we'll just put it in. We can just do it like yarn and designs. That's not shop.
I mean, it kind of okay, yeah, because you have a section also where you say this is yarn because it is shop news because that's regarding designs that are going to go up eventually. In which case, then I don't have 11. I have
10.
9 because I'm minus. No, it's because it's still 2.
What? I have 2. Oh, okay. I thought you only had 1.
Yeah, so that would be 9. So we're equal, but because I have that, I think I still go first because I have an FO.
Right, and I have frogs, so that's.
So let me just make this new section. It's going to be called Designs. Or
I thought you were just going to put it in your shop news.
Oh, that's right. Shop. That's better. shop.
We already have shop news.
I don't have a section here. What I do is I number them so I know how much.
You're talking about in your own notes.
In my own notes, because otherwise I don't know. And I have 2. Stop that. 2. And I'll put in parentheses design so I know what the world I'm talking about. Because I won't remember later. I'll be like, what is this? And I'll never use it again. Because it's occurred to me, I'm like, why am I counting this as projects when I can't even show them what it is? Mm-hmm. There. It's even less interesting than you showing them. Well, it's definitely less interesting than you showing them yarn. It's like, bag, it exists. Wave it. Okay, so that'll be like your yarn where it doesn't count toward our count. But I'll still go first because of the FO. Mm-hmm. Okay. Eeps. So I thought I brought my tea tin with me. But apparently I didn't.
That's okay.
I am so unorganized, guys. So what I'm having is Teapot. And I think I got distracted talking. We were talking short story, and my brain stopped working. So I don't have the tin to show you. It's Teapot, and it's Russian Caravan, which is a yummy tea. I had to get more from Teapot because my tin is halfway empty, and I can't be running out of that. It's got a couple different. It's got Lapsang Souchong, which I do like. And then it has another black tea.
It smells like a campfire.
I do love my smoky tea. I love smoky teas. I love earthy teas. And I love nutty teas. I have a rather savory taste, but I don't like certain savory.
I talked to Julie on Adagio about the last tea. I asked her if it was savory or not, because she put pepper in it.
Peppercorn?
She put pepper in it.
Oh, not peppercorn.
Somebody put pepper in it.
Oh, okay.
Somebody put peppercorn too, but she also put stevia, so.
All right, there we go.
I'm not expecting to care for this very much.
I was surprised to find, in comparison, this one's smoky, but not quite as smoky as I remembered. It was gunpowder.
Yep. I got you that from. First, I got you from Williamsburg, and then I got it from.
Yes, and I do love a good gunpowder tea.
I don't care for the smoky, at least.
It's not as smoky as this. It's because my tea book that I have, it's really awesome. It has this section where it has a tea wheel. And they tell you to sniff and then sip, and with your first one, and it said slurp actually.
Forget all your etiquette and all your manners.
Because I guess when you slurp, you're also inhaling at the same time, so you're getting more of the taste.
That's just rude.
Well, actually, if you watch any wine tasters or tea tasters,
but they don't make a noisy slurp.
But it's not the most polite.
I mean, all I can see.
They also spit it out.
Yes, these people in their white ties and tux.
So they tell you to slurp it, and then they say, like, do it quick. They don't want you to hold it in your mouth necessarily. So they said, okay, what's your first impression on the inner wheel? And then they said, with your second taste, pay a little bit more attention and see if you could catch, and they'll have, like, little branches off of that first wheel. My hair is such a mess from when I took it out.
Like your primary and tertiary colors? Secondary colors?
Right, and then you can try to narrow it down. It's really cool. I've actually bookmarked it in my book to stay bookmarked.
This is what my daughter's head looks like, and yes, that is an oboe. And as for new viewers, you can ask. I'm not going to go over the story again now because we've said it about 10 million times. But, and it always changes a little bit.
Right, because we're never quite sure. It actually was a nickname that belonged to Dad. I'm not sure how it became almost exclusively mine.
Probably because I do more with you, except for with Daddy, you know?
Right, because I've actually never heard you call Dad an oboe head. I think it was like earlier on.
Yeah.
And then some reason I ended up, probably because Davina doesn't like any of those kind of pet names, and I just sort of I let it roll off my back, and just like, okay, whatever.
Everybody on Adagio thinks your name is Pumpkin.
All I can remember is you doing that in the Bakery Bears patron group.
Oh, and Dan.
And then Dan's like, yeah, Pumpkin.
He's such a brat.
It's like, thanks, Dan.
We love Dan. Dan is from the Bakery Bears, and he's amazing.
Yes, he is.
Dan and his wife, Kay, the Bakery Bears. If you don't watch their videos, you should check them out.
I seem like when I do my knitting, you might think I have a Kay obsession because, like, those are my favorite. Those are a lot of times my go-to sock patterns.
And a lot of times I have need a video tutorial or something, that's where I go.
You said she explains things in a way that really work for you.
Yeah, that works for me. And she gets my my mindset, I want it to look difficult and not be difficult. So she gets that. And so I really love it. I'm way behind on them. I haven't watched them in a very long time because I'm just too busy to watch anybody. I don't even watch ours anymore.
Yeah, she actually used to watch ours, which I've never have.
Because I like to see if we are coherent.
I know we're not coherent. What are you talking
Well,
about?
I'm talking about like there's no drops, there's no,
Right.
that kind of stuff.
That reminds me, I have two things to answer from the comments because I didn't get around to it. And I thank you everyone for your comments on YouTube. First of all, there was someone who really sweetly said that they love it when we waffle because...
Oh, they did? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, they said they love it when we... It might have been actually a comment on an earlier one because I get notified because it's my channel. That, so someone had said that they love it when they waffle. They feel like they're just having tea with us. And so I really...
That makes me happy.
That made me happy. And then I can't remember who asked...
About this?
Yes.
That was Christina, I think.
Okay, so if
it was Christina.
Regardless of who asked, we got these off of Amazon. This one, I actually feel like it holds heat better than the new ones, but the new ones are all we can really put on
the bigger
ones. These are thicker, which is why I think they hold heat a little bit better. And also, I can put them on, they don't suck in as much. The other ones, if I put it on a mug and my mug's full too much, it can actually it'll get sucked in, it'll push my tea out. So I can't cover it while it's steeping. So these, if you just have a normal rimmed...
A normal circumference.
Yeah, if you don't have a really wide circumference mug, these are, good. And they're from Amazon. All I could say is look for the ones with the little animals on it. I don't know the brand because I've had these a while. I actually got them for myself.
We split them in half.
And then I split them in half because I didn't need 6 of them. Did I give you 3 or 2?
I have 3.
Okay, so then
I just never used any of the blue one.
I will flip them around which one I use based on the mug I have. I try to match them with my mug.
I don't think any of mine match mugs. Okay, in mine, I have to go a little further because I was interrupted.
Oh, I didn't realize you had.
Well, I didn't say anything except for what my mug is.
Oh, and we went off on a thing about oboe. Oh, yeah, this is what my head looks like mug.
So this is from the Tea Spot as well, and this is Earl of Grey. It's a black tea, citrus rind, licorice root, mallow flowers, bergamot, citrus, and vanilla flavoring. And so this is...
Now that's something that I did end up learning, which I didn't quite understand what bergamot was before. I hadn't realized it was a citrus.
Yeah, I didn't either, and that makes sense because most of the Earl Greys have some kind of citrus to it.
Yes. Although there are people who like citrus who don't like bergamot because I tried to do a trade with someone with the cards, and it was Jeff, I think, and he apologized. I just don't like
Jeff.
Yeah. He's like, I just don't care for things with bergamot in it.
Yeah,
well, that's fine.
Somebody said something about bergamot that they didn't like the aftertaste or something to it.
It tends to be those are some of your stronger teas. It can get bitter.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
I think a lot of times what you don't like in some of the teas is the bergamot.
See, I think I like the bergamot. I haven't.
Because a lot of the Earls that you don't like, I thought I was blamed it on the bergamot.
I was blamed it on the black tea. I don't know. This tea is one of the few Earl Greys that I like. So,
although you still had to try the rooibos.
Yes, I do.
Earl Grey that I got you.
I thought I already did that.
No, you've never tasted it.
Okay.
You don't love the things I give you.
I tasted all the other ones.
How are you already almost done with your tea?
Because I'm freezing.
Oh, poor mom.
That's why I'm wearing the shawl. She let me wear her shawl because I got off my treadmill and I couldn't get warm. So
Mom might need a break to go get another cup of tea.
It'll take too long to do. Let's see here. Okay. So that takes care of our tea, all right? Now, let's see here. Upcoming along, so we don't have to worry about upcoming right now. Okay. Do you have anything to say before I go on into the...
No, not really.
Okay. For our alongs that are currently going on, okay, we have the PHN Tea and Tails Cal Lao 2022. And the Cal Lao means knit, crochet, knit, and loom knit, okay? I still have here Cal, not the Lao.
Right. Because Lao was a fairly recent added.
But I guess we didn't do it with Tea and Tails because we had Christmas along, we had Charity along, so we had 2 in between doing it again. So,
okay.
This third time. So, anyway, This runs from January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. If it's January 1st of 2023, it's finished. Okay, so it's midnight Eastern Standard Time going into January 1st, 2023 is when it finishes. If it's still open in the wee hours of 2023, that's fine.
Yep, it's not your fault.
That's not your fault. But please, if you have projects that you really want to get in there, maybe they have multiple posting potential, please get it in before midnight Eastern Standard Time, because I think 3 out of our 5 moderators are East Coast. So
don't wait. Put it in now.
Now, yes. Only $19.95. No. Okay. Anyway, previous whips are allowed in this, but must be worked on during the along and must reflect the theme of tea and or tails. Chatter and pictures are all on the same thread. Projects must be tied in some way, shape, or form to the theme of tea and or tails. And we have gone further into what constitute tails in the thread. If you are in the along, you are in the threads. You have to be part of the PHN home group.
If you want to find some patterns for tea and tails besides what's in the thread, you can also check over, it's in one of our discussion areas. I think it's under general. Mm-hmm. I have an area that was meant for Tolkien's birthday. Mm-hmm. I think it's Hobbit Day is what the thread is called. Mm-hmm. And I have some Tolkien related patterns in there. And
I'll get
both. I think both knit and crochet. I can't remember if it's knit and crochet or not.
Okay, 1 whip per project per week. The FO whenever it's finished. We will have prizes. The only one, well, I have 2 that I know for sure. One was donated by Pat, who is Looney Hiker. It's a sock pattern that she donated. Beautiful sock pattern. And the other one, thank you, Pat. And the other one was donated by Emma. It's it's the year prize, and it's a little bigger than some of the other prizes.
While you're talking, I need to get up. I realized I forgot to grab one of my project bags.
Okay, and now the featured patterns and the featured yarns. Now the bare basic featured patterns and yarns always remain the same. Lady Vertical Creations yarns, my one pattern. Franciscan Gypsy Designs patterns. A Lollipop Girl yarns, Laura Concert patterns. Those are always featured as long as they fit the parameters of the theme, and so they also are featured here on this along. Also for this along featured will be Mom Cook patterns. She's loom knit, and Joanna Johnson's patterns. She's knit, and KF Jones patterns. She's also knit. If they're related to tea and or tails, okay? It's 2 chances of prize if you use a yarn or a pattern in a finished object, 3 chances at a prize for the finished object only, 3 chances at a prize if you use a featured pattern and a featured yarn for the FO, and you are responsible for multiple postings.
You're responsible for fiddlesticks too.
Is the hurricane that is Talia finished?
I'm sorry, we don't have a lot of space in here. And my hips hit everything. Ugh. Sorry, my knees don't let me get up very easily.
Okay. So I gave you the featured patterns, featured yarns. If that's a little disjointed, it is in the thread, okay? The hashtag is hashtag PHNT and Tails 2022 on Instagram. The prizes will be pulled quarterly, okay? And I told you what the first quarter prize number 1 is. That was from Pat. I haven't decided yet what the other prizes are. And then the year prize is from Emma. That it was going to be last year's, but then we had another donation that was kind of time sensitive because we would probably use it. So we wanted to make sure you got it. So the Emma's will be this time because it's a wonderful prize as well. Now the Ready Set Go Cal Lal, this is the one where you cannot have any whips. Everything has to be started January 1st, 2022 or later, okay? And this, so start all the things, okay? If you have things that you want to frog and you want them to count for a chance at a prize, you have about a week to frog things and have them count for a prize. What you need to do is you need to post the project or whip, even if it's a finished item that you pull the yarn out of. Post that and then the yarn that comes from that when you frog it, and you put those 2 posts in the same post.
But it can't be something you picked up from Goodwill and then ripped.
No, you have to mate it. Okay, so in other words, if and I'm simply using this as an example, okay, she posts this, and then she posts the yarn that comes from that
She doesn't really want a platypus. She wants me to rip it.
next to each other in the same thread, and then you would get a chance for the prize for the frog. This is frog items are only counted for the month of January. Okay, now let's see here. Most of the rest of the things are the same. Featured yarns, featured patterns are my yarns, my one pattern, Taya's patterns, and Laura Concert's yarns and patterns. It doesn't have to be any theme, just that it has to be started no earlier than January 1st of this year, okay? And this runs from January 1st through March 31st. I think 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the way, yeah, 31. 31 days in March. So midnight going into April 1st, it's done, all right? And the same caution that we gave you about tea and tails holds true for this as well. If you have things that you know you want to get in, make sure you get it in before midnight Eastern Standard Time, even though it might be open a few hours into April. Okay, let's see here. All right, that's it.
Okay. So I will go ahead. Take a sip of my tea first while I open my show notes. I haven't worked on this one much since the podcast. I think I worked on it a little bit. Because I have about an inch before I start the ribbing section. So I've put down the approximate number of rows it'll take me to get to an inch, so I should just finish the knitting, but I keep going like, eh. Okay, so go ahead. I'll just pick a random news story. I'm choosing a quick one here.
Okay.
Windy weather report with chilly calico from the Kitty Chronicle late edition, the evening cat call. So, meteorologist Chilly Calico says it's raining cats and dogs out there, and we all know dogs are bad news.
Aw.
So, there's Chilly Calico.
We do not all know that dogs are
being speciesist against dogs.
Yes. Yes.
She got herself canceled.
Does this look like a pearl?
Those are pearls.
It's supposed to be pearls. It's supposed to be knitted. Maybe I'm going this way.
Let's see where your yarn is.
Yeah, I'm going this way, yeah.
Okay.
Just like seems like the thread's on the wrong side.
Let me take a look. No. It is. You're on a pearl, and did you forget to mark off?
I don't know.
Because this is definitely pearl side.
It says
it's where you're and this is where you're supposed to be purling. Cause look.
Yeah. So I wonder if I forgot to mark.
It looks like you forgot to mark something.
Maybe I'm not where I thought I was.
Okay, so where
8 would be here.
Okay, so 8 is your knit row.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 8.
And it's supposed to be wrong size.
Okay, hold on. Let me do a quick look. So there's.
This
8.
is emergency doctoring.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The 6?
Because 8 is supposed to be wrong side.
Yep.
Pearl.
Wrong side knit.
Wrong side knit. I mean, let's see. Yeah, it looks like this will be 6 that you're going into.
Okay.
Then you do 7 on the right side, and then you're going to go 8. So.
Okay, so this is purling. This is 6.
This is 6 that you're doing.
Okay. All right. So let me just.
That's what it looks like to me.
All right. I'll have to remember that.
There's no way that you're on 8 already.
Okay.
So.
That goes this way.
Now that emergency has been averted.
Yes. At least I didn't go in doing it, so I had to.
This is Lake of Shining Waters. That's the project name. The pattern name is Ann Sweater. It's from Green Gables Knits by Joanna Johnson. I'm using Andean Treasure in the colorway Sapphire Heather. And the bag was Kitty's in the News bag, as you saw. So, like I said, I've gotten work on it, but I've been hesitant because if I'm not in a place where I can measure, and I need to be because I'm about an inch
Yay.
from where I need to be to do the ribbing. And then I do the ribbing for 8 inches. So
Ribbing that never ends.
But then at that point, the sweater will be done.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, weaving in 20 million ends, and
Why do you have so many ends?
it's where you add you have to add the sleeves.
All right.
So you're going to have ends for adding the sleeves. You're going to have ends for where you finished off the sleeves. Also, I had to pick up for the
button band.
button band, so you're going to have ends for that. And then if I had to add any yarn, which I would have had to for a sweater, that's going to be more ends. So, for a sweater, there tends to be a fair amount of ends because these skeins aren't huge.
Right.
So that's going to create more ends. It's not like you're dealing with the Miss Babs there.
Right.
So I'll probably make myself work on this a little bit, even because I wrote down how many rows I think I'll need to get to my inch. I just need to be like, okay, I'm going to trust my thing and just do the rows.
Right. Do the rows. Do the rows.
But since all I have to do is mark off rows for this, that's probably what I'm going to do for right now.
Right. Okay. In my...
Also, I was warm.
As you guys probably realize from seeing Ty do emergency surgery on this, that actually she didn't. She just did a assessment.
Yes. Emergency assessment.
In my Knitter's Magic, I think that's Davina. Davina's doing the bathroom. In my Knitter's Magic black bag with lavender flowers is my Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch blanket knitting pattern by 5410 Studios. And this is my own Bare Necessities colorway, which means it's just not been dyed up. And it's growing a little bit. I just basically have been doing this on the podcast. I think I'll be doing more of it as I decide that I don't need to always be eating something when we watch a movie or something. If I don't have enough.
Because you can make a cup of tea, and you can knit and have a cup of tea.
Yeah. So, or maybe I just don't have that many calories because I'm not so worried about getting on the machine or whatever.
Right.
And I just, do something else. The
But
problem
these
is
you get on the machine not just because you're worried about it. You like doing your reading there.
I do my Hallow and my reading and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is not a hard pattern. It's just that, like, as witnessed by the fact that I couldn't figure out what I had done and why I was saying I was in row 8 when I'm actually on row 6. There's...
Well, part of the problem is you still need to learn how to read your stitches.
Well, I could see that. I did read my stitches.
No, what I mean by read your stitches is be able to count back.
Right. Because I did read them. I could tell I was purling.
Yes.
But yes, this is not a hard pattern. It's just that I need to focus on something and finish it instead of just having, like, no attention whatsoever. And
working on all the things.
Working on all the things, yeah. But I figured that'd be boring for you to see just one thing.
Well, also, it's not... sometimes you just want to work on something different for your own interest.
Yeah. And also, my hands benefit a little bit from not necessarily working on the same thing the whole time. I'm doing 6. I want to make sure I got this up here. 6 and 7 and 8. It's going to mess up my little thing here, but okay.
It was cold this morning, so I rewarded myself, and I got to wear my Western Extra Spinner socks. I always feel like these are a reward to wear.
I decided that I didn't want to ruin a pair of socks when I had to get on the machine again, because I think you're going to have to
darn yours.
Darn my other ones that I wore.
Well, I have a new darning egg now, which I didn't bring over to show because I put it in my darning bag.
Right. One of her birthday gifts.
Yes.
So.
And it is definitely bigger than my other darning egg, which is good because I put a big old hole in my Matt Tosh ones again. I have no idea how I put holes in my socks while I'm taking a nap. I'll wake up and then I have a ginormous hole right in the foot of my...
It's the little gnomes that don't...
I don't know. It's brownies. They're being bad brownies. And they're not, cleaning the house when no one's looking. They're putting holes in my socks. Oh, it's the fairy.
Fairy.
F-A-E-R-I-E. The little people.
Little people. Little people. I don't think the little people bother people who aren't Irish.
We always hear stories, even for, like, when you were reading Wolf Hunt, she was nervous about, I'm not sure, I don't think they said fairies. I think they said the Sealy Court is not in Arthur, but same general idea. They were nervous about them because they heard stories about men disappearing in the woods, and then they come back and, like, everyone's gone. And that was, remember Elaine is thinking about that when she's trying to figure out what is going on with her husband? doesn't actually expect him to, have what's going on when he does.
Right.
But
Well, I have my own thoughts about her.
yeah,
anyway.
but it just shows what the culture was
Yeah.
like at the time.
Yeah. I mean, him too in some ways, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're being obtuse. Sorry. Check out the
Cryptic is what you're trying
Yeah.
to say.
Wolf-
Obtuse sounds like we're being dumb.
Wolf Hunt. Wolf Hunt.
So, anywho, was that it for you?
For this one, yeah.
Okay, so let me go on. I think my next one is this one, so let me check. It is. So, you haven't seen this one in a while. This is a Joanna Johnson pattern. The project name is Franklin.
And it is from a book,
Yes, it is. I don't have the book with me.
but you can do the teen tales with that.
You can because it's an actual storybook, and the artwork is amazing. Her
beautiful.
husband does the artwork. It's a Joanna Johnson book, and it's Freddie Platypus. Is the pattern. The book is... Oh, is it Freddie's Blanket? I think it's Freddie's Blanket. It's an adorable kid's book, but I got it... Well, first of all, I did want the artwork because I thought the artwork was pretty.
Yeah.
I mean,
Daddy was impressed with the artwork.
I'm gonna eventually want to get more of her books.
Just because of the artwork.
I gotta get the one with the chipmunk. The chipmunk mom is so precious. But yeah, I love the artwork, and then they have patterns in them. They're just adorable. I mean, I don't have small children, but I do like toys.
I do. I love toys. Never grew up.
And this is mom's. This is
Yep.
Franklin, and the pattern is Freddie the Platypus. So here's where his bill's gonna go eventually. His armholes have been created, and I'm just working my way down his body. I think this color was perfect.
It's beautiful.
And this is
Right now it looks like the Sandman. The hood. Yeah,
actually, it looks like when
Ichabod Crane,
yeah. Well, I was thinking like maybe just the way I'm holding it right now. It makes me think when the ventriloquist got a sock
Oh, right.
to be his dummy. Oh,
Right.
he's a dummy.
He's
to
the
be
dummy.
his his
Ventriloquist doll.
it's a ventriloquist dummy, but the dummy calls him dummy.
Uh-huh.
It's a Batman villain, and that there's a period of time when he had the sock on his hand to do that.
Yep. Well, remember when he had the really nice one, and
Yeah, I don't know that was comic canon
I don't know.
because I've seen him use a sock, and the sock is still the other one.
He did use the sock. Well, he had been going to psychiatry, though, too, so...
Yeah, he's never been lucky enough, as far as I can tell, in the comics to have anyone but Doctor Strange, the Batman Doctor Strange, not the one that everyone knows from Marvel.
Right.
Davina keeps trying to call him Professor Strange to make a difference. I'm like, no, he's not a
doctor.
professor.
He's a doctor.
He
They're both doctors, just different kinds.
right. One's a surgeon. One is a psychiatrist.
One's a nutcase.
Well,
Okay. Are you done?
yes, I am.
Okay.
Because you can't really.
You didn't say what yarn this was.
It's actually an acrylic.
Heritage. Is that Heritage or Heartland?
Basic stitch, actually.
Oh, is that basic? Both of them are?
Yeah, I got all the same one because this was. I think this one all was the same. It's a similar colorway.
I thought the color was...
Okay, this one's Heartland.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
it.
most of it's Heartland.
Yeah.
And then basic stitches for the
Here's your other yarn right here.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Heartland.
Yeah, that looks like Heartland.
Actually, hang on.
I think that's Yosemite.
Hang on. No, this was basic stitch.
Oh, okay.
Basic stitch. They have a similar color in them.
Mhm.
This is Gold Heather basic stitch.
That's gorgeous.
And it's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And then for the overalls, we're doing Lion Brand Heartland. Basic stitch feels like Heartland, which is why I like it.
Yeah.
And this is Olympic. And then Olympic.
Okay.
And then this is going to be the bill. And this is basic
Bill.
stitch. Top heather.
Yeah,
Taupe.
it's not quite gray. It's kind of a
It's kind of a brownie.
gray. Yeah.
It's perfect for the bill.
It's taupe.
Yeah. So
I don't know why.
this is one of the few acrylics that I just don't mind working with.
I don't know why I think of taupe and I think of tapioca. It's not the same color.
It's not at all the same color.
Tapioca is like my.
It's like
It's like my.
it's clear almost.
No, tapioca. The color is more like my bare necessities. It's just kind of a uncolored, but it's not clear.
No, it's not clear, but it's
kind of a creamy.
kind of creamy. You're right.
Okay.
The bubbles can be clear.
Uh-huh. Now, my next one is in my Ploverbird pink and purple teacups bag, and this is my comfy cozy shawl from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. And I might have 2 or 3 of these on the hook. Because I have no self-control.
None whatsoever.
I didn't really work too much on this. I think I worked on it during the podcast last time.
I think you like it better now this is settled, Mom. Oh, that's right. You drink weird.
It's not too bad. I think the smell still kind of
Puts you off.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminds me of that one that was okay. That we had an interesting taste, and we both were like, "Okay, this is drinkable." One of the early ones we tried for Adagio, but the smell was just such I couldn't get over it.
That one, because it's so much of a camp, and I love camping. I love campfires. I just don't think campfire should be in a tea.
I, for whatever reason, really love a nice smoky tea, a nice earthy tea.
Now there was one smoky tea that I liked that you had recently from Adagio. I forget which one it was.
It was one that was one of my ones of the day, I want to say.
Yeah, and I forget. I know you put a note on it because you always do. But this is.
It was the one on. It was whatever I had on my birthday.
Okay.
I'll check.
This one is the shawl that I'm wearing right now, but this one's mine. And I didn't work much on it because I've been working on other things. It is growing very slowly because I'm not working on it. If I work on it, it goes really quickly.
Wow, is that how that works?
Well, I'm being serious. If I
no, I know.
If I can,
is your yarn attacking my yarn?
no, I
That.
don't think so.
I think he forgot we have podcast.
I forgot to call him.
Name and Hawaii.
Oh, it's just.
Okay, so
I
once
did
that
call
goes,
him.
we can probably put it on.
Yeah.
Fax.
Name and Hawaii.
I'm going to block it.
Okay, and then
Excuse
we
me.
fax. We put it on fax so calls can't go through, and we forgot to do it this time.
I can't find my block.
We were talking shared story and stuff, and when we do that, everything falls to the wayside.
Okay, let me just turn on the fax. I didn't manage to block it because I have a harder time blocking
From over there.
from here.
It's on
it's-
fax now.
Yeah. I think that's why I didn't put it on because I already talked to my husband this morning.
Uh-huh.
Usually we have a routine where I call him in the morning and he calls me around 11:30. But on the days that we do podcasts, I usually call him twice instead of having him call me because I don't want him to
Hit the podcast.
hit the podcast. So, and I didn't put the fax on because, okay, I already talked to him.
But you'd forgotten that other people could
Can
still
call.
potentially
Yes.
call.
Well, like you said, my head wasn't really in reality today.
no, we were in another world.
So,
another couple of worlds, actually.
Yes. But, yeah, so this one, it does grow really quickly because the stitches are about, let's see here. The stitches, one stitch is about, see where my finger is to the top?
That's
of
about a quarter of an inch. No, half
about
inch.
maybe a half inch to an inch.
Yeah. No,
So-
not an inch. It's not an inch. That's a half inch, I'd say.
I think it's more than that, but anyway,
Because an inch is about here.
an inch is usually right there. So you got, I don't know. Anyway,
That's about half an inch.
it's between half an inch and an inch, and it goes very quickly. If I even do 2 rows, I get like an inch to an inch to 2 inches or whatever I get. But I get a lot done as opposed to like knitting with size 4s or something.
Right.
And so this, I could, if I just sat down and did these, I didn't have to worry about my hands getting annoyed at the repetitive nature of the thing, then I could finish these this week.
Yeah, the only thing that honestly keeps crochet maybe doing a little longer is there's more motion. Like for knitting, if you're just doing a straight stockinette thing, if you're doing no cables, even if you have like
Straight
pearls
garter.
knits,
Straight garter.
straight garter, it's not a lot of movement. So you can zip across a row even if it's smaller. Whereas if you're doing something like this with shells,
This doesn't have shells.
or maybe not shells, but with multiple in there, or even if it's like double crochet,
Well, that's what this is basically. It's got double crochets in it, and it's just so you've got
there's more movement to do
to
one
it.
stitch, even if you get the equivalent of a rose, a couple rows worth of knitting. So I think it evens out. If you're a fast knitter, you could possibly keep up.
And before I kind of injured myself by doing too much at once, I could do like cerebell after cerebell. I could do 2 or 3 cerebells in a day, maybe
You
even
could.
4. It's just because it's got the big stitches, but even with the multiple, it has the big stitches. And I would just make 2 or 3 cowls. A trip to and from, I would get 3 to 4 cowls.
And she means to and from Ohio.
Or
DC or whatever. I did quite a few in DC. I think I did 2 of them in 2.5 or something like that. But Ohio, I could do a whole lot.
I know. I used to freak out. My last boyfriend. When
Your ex-fiance?
yes, my ex-fiance. That sounds so like weird to say it that way, but anyway, when I would knit in the car, because he was always terrified, like I would poke myself in the eye or something. But honestly, if we were in a point where we would have an accident or something, I'd probably have other things to worry about than my knitting needles.
And you're not usually putting the needles towards yourself. Anyway, you poke your leg or poke, something like that.
Right. Poke the back of the seat.
Right.
Honestly, what probably happens, you drop whatever you're knitting because you're going to want to do this.
Right. You might poke the airbag.
Yeah. Right. But, yes.
So yeah, it doesn't look a whole lot bigger, but it is growing, and I'm looking forward to having it because I gave her my other one and she has this one as well. So I need to finish this and move on to other things that I want to do. That's all I have to say about this one.
Okie dokie.
This is basically all Miss Babs except for the Malabrigo.
So, next for me, I'm actually not sure what comes next, though I have to bring this up. Yes. So next is in my, hang on. I think this
Knit
is
for Brains.
That's what I thought, but I wanted to verify because it's not one of the bags I normally. This is my only Knit for Brains bag, so I have to think about it.
Yes, it was a gift to you.
Yes.
Mine was a gift to me.
This is Knit for Brains Teapot's bag. I personally consider it the elephant Teapot's bags because elephant is the one that you see the most of. I mean, there's a bunch of teapots in here, but there's a blue elephant and a pink elephant.
Owl bag.
And there's multiple ones on each side, so I kind of feel like I do think this one's pretty though.
It's actually the whimsical teapots.
It is whimsical teapots, and I think it's adorable.
It is. There's my owl right there.
Yes, and there's one on this side too. There. But what is it? It's a white elephant.
Right off it, yeah.
No white elephants on here. Pink elephants are usually ones that they say that if you are
Drinking.
Yes. But in here
No humphalumps and woozles.
is my Laura's hood. That's a project name. The pattern name is Thorn's Hooded Cow. So this has made a little bit of progress. I've been distracted, but I do love this yarn. I have another skein that I need to wind up for something for me because I
We
have.
did that in a trade.
Hmm?
I gave you that in a trade.
Yes, you did. And even though I don't wear a ton of purple, I have one purple shirt that we all have in common, and then I have 2 skirts that are purple in. It's a purple-black combo, and I don't have any shawls I can wear with them. And they're 2 of my favorite skirts. For whatever reason, I love these 2 skirts. One is...
I remember one of them got kind of sparkles in it.
Yes, that's the one that's more purple.
It's gold, isn't it? Gold sparkles?
I think it might be. One is actually purple, the whole skirt is, and it's sparkly. Then there's one that's just this classy, it's got a belt. And then it's like black with purple flowers on it. So... I have 2 skirts that are primarily purple without any other colors to really pick out. So I need a purple shawl, so I'll knit that up for myself. I actually already have plans for that. But this is Laura's. Nothing to do with the purple shawl for myself. The yarn just has to do with it.
Not that yarn.
Well, not this specific skein of yarn. You are correct.
You must be clear and specific in your speech.
Pacific?
Pacific. Not Atlantic.
Pacific.
Pacific. All right, let me get something to hold the stitch here. Oh, there we go.
I'm so glad that I picked these up a long time ago, these needles. These are Knit Picks needles. This is the long DPNs. I picked them up for sleeves.
Oh, right.
That's before I
Do you
primarily...
need that big for sleeves?
That's what I had in mind when I picked them up. And it can... I mean, it depends on how wide your sleeve is. But, I mean, mostly I magic loop for sleeves now. But this is particularly useful for toys. And for stabbing someone.
Have knitting needles will travel. You would be divested if you got on an airplane.
Well, I feel like it's a trope, like in almost any, particularly old movies, where someone would sit down and they find that they've sat on someone's knitting and they poked themselves.
Yep. I had to laugh. I remember Emily talking about sitting on... That's how I found out about these metal ones, because she'd sat on knitting needles and she was looking for... I think it was she was looking for needle minder type things so she wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I wasn't really concerned about it because I wasn't knitting that much, if at all.
Right.
So, all right, let me see what my next one is. All right. In my Knit for Brains Owl Teapot Bag, actually we call it Whimsical Teapot Bag, and mine is the drawstring version. She makes very nice bags.
Yes.
You want to check her out. It's a nice sturdy drawstring.
Right. I would
Okay.
probably still find a way to destroy it because I am the destroyer of drawstrings.
And in the theme, this is also a thorn cowl. It is not for Laura. Sorry, Laura. This one is mine at the
She'd
moment.
like mine better anyway.
Yeah, it's purple.
That was not meant to sound arrogant.
Yes, it was.
Okay, absolutely meant to sound arrogant.
Okay, put this here like so.
Excuse
Now,
me.
is it arrogant when you're telling the truth? Okay. So this is version 2, I think. Version 2 or version 3.
It's version
Version
2. Mine is
right.
what I'm working on is version 3.
And right now I'm just still knitting and knitting.
Because there's far more. If you compare our patterns, yours has only one set of rows. One row of
Right,
purl to separate
right.
all the knit rows, whereas mine has more of an accordion look.
Right.
I actually really love the pattern for
That's
version
pretty.
3. I love this. Also, I don't feel like I'm doing miles of stockinette necessarily,
Right. Well, I don't feel like I'm doing miles of stockinette. I mean,
but
it's-
I like the way it looks.
and it's in the round, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
Well, there's no garter in this. This is pearls.
right. What I'm saying is when you do the stockinette, all you have to do is knit. Because
Well,
it's
yeah,
in the round.
I know that.
So this is really nice. It's a little lighter weight than hers because hers is almost an Aran and mine is a DK worsted, Miss Babs, in the blue slate colorway. And I think once I get through this particular set of knits, then I start retreating. I start backtracking. Instead of we did all the way up to 21 rounds, and now I'm going to start, the dividing row of pearls and then whatever amount going backwards until I hit what we started with, and then do the hood. So
Right. And this is a free pattern.
it's a free pattern.
Just look up Thorne's hooded cow. If you find it on the Ravelry page for it, it will lead you to where you can actually get the site. The site you can get it from for free. That site has a ton of free, like Tolkien related patterns.
And obviously these, if you're interested in this, would be allowable for Tea and Tales,
Exactly.
for Tolkien, and for The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and all that. Actually, this would be The Hobbit most likely.
It would be the Hobbit because it's named after Thorne, and Thorne didn't
Yeah.
make it past the Hobbit.
Right. So yeah, I mean, this is basically what it looks like. It is growing. I like this. It's a restful type of thing. I just have to learn. Like I told you last week, I think I told you, or maybe I was just talking to Talia. I am probably going to start. I'll look at the pattern and do what it says flat, and then join it, because I don't want Talia to have to keep doing the circle for me, the joining. And I have done it. It's just that I get frustrated when it doesn't,
When
when
it
it twists, 5 times out of 5. So
Well, I know that my goal once I finish Laura's is I've been meaning to make myself one in the yellow, the yellow I love. Miss Babs.
the squash blossom.
The squash blossom.
Well, you're still working on one in mine, aren't you?
Yes, but that had to be a different pattern because it was sport weight and it was way too light.
Right, I forgot about that.
So I ended up getting Karina Spencer pattern. And it's a really pretty pattern. It has a little bit more lace in it, so I had to focus more.
Right.
So I work on that when I have some brain power. I haven't worked on it in a little while. You know where you go with patterns where you're in with, where you are working on them all the time. And there's several of my sweater patterns whose feelings are hurt. So, but I pretty much always have a thorn going just because I actively use them.
Kind of like my Cerebel.
Right, because I need more colors. Because for one thing, it's really nice when you're cold. And also, okay, I deal with pain on the top of my head quite frequently. A hat can hurt. The cowl is light enough, the hooded cowl is light enough so it's not pressing down on the head, but it still provides that warmth around your neck and head area because this area can be really tender to touch. So I am a big Thorne's hooded cowl fan.
And I'm not sure. I have to see how I like this when I finish it.
Davina really loves it.
Davina loves it, and this is a color she likes. So if I don't like it for whatever reason, and it won't be because I don't like the pattern, it'll simply be because I don't like the way it looks on me.
Right, that you don't wear it.
That I won't wear it, then I'll give it to Davina because she does wear it.
Yeah, she does.
She has.
I don't know if she's ever worn it out.
I don't know.
I know I've worn mine out. I know I've seen her wear it around the house with her mitts to match.
She only has the one, right?
She does only have the one.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that she really seemed to love it in your colorway too. And the colorway that I knitted for Davina and with lacy version was the Courtly Love colorway.
I was trying to figure out which one you did for her. For some reason I was thinking of yellow, but it wasn't yellow. It was pink.
No, it was the pinky red.
Yeah.
It was more pink than it was red, which is why I didn't knit it for myself that way. Because I don't really wear much in the way of pink, especially not that shade. If I wear it, I wear more of a dusty rose.
It's almost a deep salmon.
It's not quite salmon.
It's almost a deep salmon.
Because the salmon has more of an orange undertone.
No. Salmon's not orange.
I mean, it's not orange, but that's the undertone I think of with it.
Oh, I don't.
Or fleshy undertone.
Not when I remember to go shopping and stuff like that. I think it depends how fresh it is.
I'm just thinking of the crayon box. But
oh, okay. No, I'm talking about the actual fish.
Oh, I'm talking about the crayon box.
No, I'm talking about the actual fish.
But
crayon box doesn't count. That could be someone's interpretation.
By crayon box I mean actually colored pencil box, because I don't think anyone in this house has crayons anymore.
I think Davina still has some.
Does she? I thought she uses
uses
markers and colored pencils.
She uses different things. I think she might still have some crayons.
Okay, because I know her primary medium
in fact,
for art is colored pencils.
I actually picked up some. Remember, I picked up for her stocking this year, and it didn't fit in her stocking. Crayons that you don't have to sharpen. You just twist it.
No, I don't remember.
And it sharpens. You don't have to worry about a sharpener.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess colored pencils are her primary medium. I don't think about it. She might use the crayons for her designs.
She uses pencils, color pencils, regular like mechanical pencils, and markers, and then she uses crayons. So she's kind of
she has multiple mediums,
but not multiple mediums like painting / collage /
right. But I would consider that still separate mediums because you have to.
They
will work like the colored pencils. You can blend. You can't blend a crayon.
I just wouldn't consider that as mediums. I would consider that.
Well, they consider
tools.
pencils a medium.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
They consider crayons a medium.
I don't know.
Because you think about like
I'd have
pastel crayons are considered differently than pastel.
I'd have to ask Daddy, if it's considered mediums or subsets within the medium.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not that important. It's just that intellectual kind of
yes.
discussion.
So I guess it's my turn.
It is. I actually got fairly far around the hood here.
Now this one I actually started working on because I needed it for a picture for Adagio because today's tea was Irish breakfast. So I put it back where Dad had it afterwards, but my High Kings cover, put that up for the picture, and then my green socks. Mm-hmm. So the peridot sock only got worked on last night because I needed it for a picture.
Peridot.
Because it's the Bavarian diamond sock pattern by Judy Sumner, but it's peridot sock, and it's in your Master of the Hunt colorway.
I might have to do that one again.
It's really pretty, right?
I like that. I like my Don't Be Hasty.
So I am at the toe decreases. My foot looks really long, but I measured it. I just have a long foot in comparison to this leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny that the foot is longer than the leg.
Well, I probably should have gone longer for the leg than I chose to.
How much of that yarn do you have?
I have another skein.
Oh, okay.
And plus I have more because you dyed me a lot of it.
I did? Oh, I did. That's right.
So honestly, I will probably be working some of my Lord of the Rings ones in this. Yeah. Well, no, I can't Claire Allen. Claire Allen, all of hers are fingering weight. Mm-hmm. But I do. This will be beautiful. This is beautiful for pattern socks. Mm-hmm. It's a lovely colorway, and it's got nylon. So, but you can see that it works on my foot. It's just that, I mean, it'll be a smidge on the longer side, but I was aiming for that. Mm-hmm. because it's, I don't like it when socks are too tight.
No, I don't either.
Because I don't like it when it rubs on the toe.
Mm-mm.
So, like I said, it looks long, but it's just because I have a long foot and I didn't go as long on the leg for this one. And I don't have necessarily a wide foot.
Right. Nobody in this house really does.
But
Very pretty.
it's a lovely pattern.
It's not quite as bright a color as it's showing up on this screen. I can't.
Oh, it's pretty bright. It's really, it's almost grassy.
Mhm.
It's really quite a lovely colorway. I really enjoy working with it. And I do need another pair of heavier weight socks because all my heavier weight socks, they were not made for socks, the yarn, so they're all getting holes in them. Now the ones that aren't, that are holding up pretty well are my Harry Potter ones that are in that Christmas colorway.
Right.
I think it's like Merry Christmas Harry or something like that. They're the only reason why they're starting to show a little where I did the decreases is because those were one of my earlier socks. So I mean I've had those things for years.
Right.
Then the ones from Heidi,
Right.
where I did a pair for you and a pair for me. Mine were blue and
Pink or
pink, and yours are
Blue and brown.
brown and blue.
Okay, I want you to take a look at this because
Okay.
I caught the stitch. I just want to make sure I didn't lose a stitch.
And the other one that holds up pretty well is your Plum Deluxe one. So I have a few heavyweight ones that are holding up. I'm going to push this down.
I think this is fine, but I want to make sure I didn't skip a stitch because what happened was I noticed that when you drop the stitch, when you knit it and it was caught around here.
Right.
So I just want to make sure I didn't lose anything.
No, you look like you're fine.
Okay. I didn't think I'd lost anything. All right. Thank you.
I'm sure you didn't.
Yeah. All right. Let me move this over. All right. Let me put this away, and I can show you the next project.
One thing I like about the West Fisher spinners, even though it's fingering weight, it gives you the warmth that some of the heavier weight socks do. And it feels more cushy. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about their yarn that they choose.
What happened to my?
The BFL.
Did I not have one?
What are you looking for?
Needle miners for this.
Maybe you didn't?
I thought I had it. Well,
Did you put it back in the bag?
no. I think so.
Did you put it in the box?
Well, if you find one, it's mine.
Wouldn't it be two?
I think they were in this. Well,
Mine have two.
maybe it does have two. I don't know. I'll have to find it later. I mean, thankfully, it's not an overly long project, so as long as I'm careful, it should stay.
Right.
Actually, this might be the one that you had to fix last time because it came loose.
Oh,
In which
okay.
case, it might not
have a
one.
thing.
Because I think I was using
Oh, you were
those
using
yellow
the...
things.
Yeah, you just haven't had a chance to put anything on it.
I don't like those. They don't.
It's a clippy thing instead.
It's not a clip. It's a because those are okay. Those black things that you clip with.
Oh, it's just the thing you
It's
put
the
on
thing you
top.
put on top. It's like a cap,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't work well.
It's a little plastic caps you can get through like
Yeah.
clover or something.
Is it your turn?
I just did peridot.
Okay. Okay, my next one is in my Silver Shed USA green Star Wars bag, and this is my Mad Hatter Cal from the Cerebel Cal pattern by Sarah Sweetheart. And you guys can probably say that because I've been doing these for years. So this is another one that grows really, really quickly. This is a nice, bright, yes, I know, Ty, you don't consider this super bright, but it is a bright shawl.
I can acknowledge that it's not dull, but because it's such a...
It's jewel tones.
It's wintry, folly, but it doesn't feel like bright to me.
So you can see this.
Wow, it's showing up like luminescent on that screen for whatever reason.
Well, it is very bright. And this one is just another one that I can say, okay, I'm watching Perry Mason with Mike, or, we're talking, and I don't have to really pay attention to what I'm doing. Just crochet and talk, and if I do make a mistake, I just can rip it back with no problem because I can fix this.
Excuse me, sorry.
It's a very low stress project.
Which is great.
Yeah, the only problem with it is that if my hands are bothering me, then I can't work it or I can only work, a few stitches because it bothers my hands because there's like 3 stitches to each stitch plus not yarn overs, chaining
Right.
in between. So, and that's not giving anything away. It's a free pattern anyway. So, but this is just, it's really one of my go-to patterns.
Now, this free pattern you can't find online anymore.
No.
So Mom is like the keeper of the Sarah Sweetheart's pattern.
Yeah, this particular one.
And if it wasn't for the fact that A, she took it off everywhere, and then B, it was free to begin with, Mom wouldn't be able to give it out, but it was
Right.
free to begin with it before she ever took it off the internet.
Right. And I really wish that I could contact her, but there's no way to contact her.
It's like she disappeared.
She just disappeared. I did contact her once, I think, or maybe
When she was still on Ravelry.
when she was still on Ravelry.
Before, like, she took everything.
But I also talked to somebody else who, I don't know if it was her or somebody else who talked to me about the repeats.
I
Multiple.
think that was one of the other people who had a pattern page, because they were the ones who helped you figure out how to make adjustments to the pattern.
Right. But they, this.
Because I think
pattern-
you thanked them in your first project page that you did that too.
Yeah, I did, and I know I have that somewhere. I just have to go through it, and because I had no idea when I even started this. I don't know when not this particular one, but I don't know when I found this pattern.
Right.
But I have pretty much been doing it nonstop. I mean, I may have had a little bit of a break here
You
or there,
and
but
I, for a while, when I was doing Karina
Spencer's,
Spencer's Zuzu Petals that way, and then of course the Diana's hat,
right.
which I haven't done nearly as often.
Right.
Lately.
I think my next one like that was the I've done a few of yours like that, and I had the Bankhead, which I think I did 3 of them. Which for a knitting project, that's a lot for me to do.
Yeah, I think I did one single, and then I did, which I felt was crazy in retrospect, was when I did the 2 at a time Bankhead. Grandpa's in brown, I think, and then
Match
Grandma's
the
was
sweaters,
green.
yeah, match the sweaters.
That's right. It was to match the sweaters. That was, I mean, the really pretty Matosh blue for my coworker who has red hair. My former coworker who has red hair.
She would have looked really amazing in that blue yarn that I love so much.
It's a Matosh like electric. It was gorgeous, and I wanted to keep it myself, but I don't wear hats like that a lot. It's gorgeous, and because she was a redhead, it was like one of those things in my head. I was like, this is gonna look so great on her. And then, like I said, I actually did 2 at a time Bankheads. I went through 2 at a time craze.
Okay.
But
So yeah, this is moving along fairly well. I was hoping to have this one done a while back, but as with all things, if you don't work on them,
exactly,
they don't grow. It's like they are craving attention, and if they don't give it to them, they kind of wither.
right.
So anyway, but it's getting. I mean, like I said, this one could probably be considered done.
They stagnate. Whether it kind of means that it has backward progress.
Well, no, whether just atrophy, whatever you want to call it.
Atrophy again. That's backward. You actually get smaller.
Well, what is it Father said? If you don't go forward, you're moving backward. So anyway, this is how much I have left. This is a Miss Babs skein. It's probably about a third of a skein, maybe, you think, about Miss Babs?
Possibly.
About a third of a skein. So, and I know that I can't use the whole skein because it gets really long,
Right.
and there's a point where it's just too
Ridiculous.
much. You don't really need it to be quite that long. But
You don't want to go around the world with that?
world. Yeah. It goes around the world. Yep. It's just, it's fun and it's happy. And during the winter, especially when it's kind of gray outside or whatever, it's kind of fun to work on because it's something pretty to look at.
Yeah.
And bright and happy. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
I need to knit this pattern again.
That's all I have to say about that.
This is the crunkled.
You are not doing your thing.
I love these socks.
You are not taking it without hesitation.
Okay, so
Podcaster's credo.
question for all y'all. I was just thinking with the 2 at a time hat, and I used to be, and I'm doing again, 1 pair of 2 at a time socks, but I used to do a lot of 2 at a time. So I think I did as many as 4 at a time, where I had 2 pairs of socks going.
I remember seeing people at the Fiber Festival doing like 6 or
Yeah, I
something.
did at the Fiber Festival 4 at a time one time, and I felt like I was crazy.
Do you remember that person though? We had like,
I do
8
remember.
or
I think
something
that's
like
who
that.
got me thinking
Yeah.
about doing 4 at a
it
time.
was amazing.
For socks, is it usually just toe up? Because I can't remember. I think
mean
they were
you mean
always
for-
toe up when I did
You mean
that.
for doing 2 at a time?
Yeah, for doing 2 at a time or more at a time.
Why would it make a difference?
I'm not sure if it's the way the heels form. That's why I'm curious.
It could
Unless
be.
you're doing an afterthought heel.
Right.
So,
Well, you do that other two at a time where you do the one long tube and I think you cut the heel. You mark
that's
the
an
heel.
afterthought heel.
Right, but what I'm saying is that they don't do it two on the needle. You do like a straight.
Oh, I've heard of... Yeah.
I think Heidi did one time.
I don't think I would like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't like anything that you have to do an afterthought. I would rather, if I were to do socks, I think I would prefer to do a gusset.
I like the way the gusset fits.
It looks nice. Some of the socks look really weird when you.
Yes, I have a couple colorwork socks. I forget what kind of heel they do, and I just don't like the way it looks, and it's wide, so it doesn't really fit my foot the best. Whereas a gusset heel, it seems to be a little thinner, so it wraps itself around my heel in a really comfortable way. Whereas a wider heel...
It cradles the heel.
Yeah, the wider... Also, I'm really rough on my socks.
No.
So a gusset has a little bit more reinforcement.
Not you.
Never me.
Not you.
Okay, so speaking about socks, in my... Let me see, it's all the way at the bottom. Another bag that Laura gave me with bunnies on it. This is Molly Klein design. And it's bunnies with spectacles and bow ties. So they're geeky little bunnies.
Bro Bummel Bunny.
And this is Fetching the Sun, the Carrad Ross Socks by Claire Ellen. And I'm using Undead Yarn Fingering Sock in the colorway Big Bad Wolf 8 Little Red Riding Hood.
That's one of the first colors I think I bought from her. One of the first.
I have
ones.
another skein of it in case I run out.
I think I gave you one because I didn't.
You
use
might
it.
have, because it's fingering and you don't really use fingering. And if I don't end up using it for this pair of socks, I'll save it for another pair of socks. Because it's a wonderful colorway.
It is very pretty.
And it's not like I'm going to mind having multiple ones in this color.
Usually I liked Heidi's, for lack of a better term, pot scrubbers.
Yeah.
But I did like that color very much. That and her Jaws colorway and things like that. She had a couple of
Cookie
blue-
Monster was pretty.
Cookie Monster was really pretty. Yep.
So this is showing more orange in that screen, but I think this is the more accurate one. So you can see the cables. And there's the really pretty cables on the side as well. Of course, I put my... there's my sock blocker.
Kind of reminds me of a black cherry.
It's a little more pink than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
You just see the very dark kind of stripe in there.
Yes, and that part does make me think of black cherry, but I think the color itself is more pink than that. There we go. There's... You can see a little bit better the lace. And you can't see quite as well the one up here. But it's got a really pretty side lace, which will actually be... That actually... Yeah, that still ends up the side of your sock, because this is the front. So I guess it's actually technically going to be the other direction. I can't remember. I'll have to see when the sock actually grows. I can't remember which way it actually goes when it has the heel in. I kind of feel like the heel ends up here, and that these end up on the side, and this ends up on the foot. So it'd be like this instead. Let's see. I kind of feel like it's supposed to be like this. And now that allows you to see this what's actually supposed to be on the side a lot nicer. It's a really pretty. I mean, but it's Claire Ellen, you know.
Yeah, she does a good job.
And this is also written for a heavier weight yarn. One of her few patterns is written for both. It's just that I know that Miss Babs doesn't necessarily hold up very well in socks, and I didn't feel like having to automatically know I was going to need to darn it. Not to mention I wasn't completely sure I had enough yarn in the yarn I had. Those things combined just made me go like, you know what? Let me just do an actual yarn meant for socks. And this is one of Heidi's workhorse ones, which means it'll probably hold up really well.
It has an older base.
It is an older base.
Because she was still, when we first started buying yarn from her, she was still trying to figure out bases that she wanted to.
Although I've come to appreciate a yarn that's maybe a little bit more rustic for socks, because once you get them washed a couple times, they have a really lovely feel to them.
I have to wash my Dance All Night, the ones I've been wearing, the one that might need darning.
Right.
It's not quite there yet. It's like starting to pill.
Do you have the mesh bag I gave you? The zipper bag that's meant for like...
I think so.
Davina lost hers, so... but I use mine. I just stick all my socks in there, run the whole thing on... Delicate. No, we have hand wash sitting.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
And then I just hang the socks off of my torture device. It honestly looks like I have a torture device in my room.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a torture device, and a lot of times...
Well, if you need
my
to, I can
equivalent-
hang yours on my torture device.
My equivalent of that is where I hang my yarn, to dry.
Well, I was getting tired of having to run downstairs to get my socks after I finished washing them.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't necessarily dry very quickly downstairs.
Right.
They dry really fast up. Also, they're almost dry when they come out of the washer.
Right, because the spin cycle.
Right.
And our machine is not a top loader, it's a front loader, so it doesn't have the... I mean, you can felt it, obviously.
It's
but
just harder.
It's just harder to felt things in a front loader than
And it's also hand wash setting.
Well, I'm talking about just the spinning.
Right.
But if you use hand wash, it's not going to be warm, and the agitation will be a little less than...
Well, as evidenced by the fact that these are not superwash Western spinners. And these have gone through the wash multiple times, and they are holding up excellently. Yes, I'm apparently obsessed showing you my Western spinner socks.
Let me
Owl colorway, wonderful socks.
Owls, owls, owls. Give me owls. Okay, let me just... Because I don't have any owls.
None whatsoever.
None. Let's see. There. Okay. So, now that we've waffled a little bit...
Did you get some crocheting done while we
I
waffled?
did. I got some done. Alright. Didn't make a whole dent on the yarn, but I didn't really expect to.
Well, I mean, that's a big skinny yarn.
It is. Okay, so that goes in there. Oh, my show notes went bye-bye.
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 Mine
Bye-bye.
went bye-bye, too.
Bye-bye. And that is a reference. Reference heavy. Okay. My next one is in my Silver Shed USA blue PHN bag with faces on it. And this is my husband's artwork. This is the original logo for our podcast and for our group. Anne made this bag for us using my husband's artwork. She threw in the little yarn balls and the feathers. It's a quill feather. So this is the one. This is another scrap shawl by Anastasia Statel, and this one's for Talia. And this one is bigger than mine.
Yes. And that one will go with things that I wear. They're green and blue.
And gray.
And gray, you're right.
This is huge. It could be finished now, but it's not.
I love ginormous.
Yes, so do I.
Because I use that. My other one is my comfort shawl. Doesn't matter what color
This
I'm
one?
wearing.
This one?
Yes. Because it is a complete wrap around.
Mm-hmm.
I've been known if I'm cold at night, and it's been really cold at night
It's been
here.
frigid here.
I'll be wearing one of Dad's plaid things over a Franciscan University hoodie, my alumni one that's like coming apart at the sleeve because I love it so much.
And by plaid thingy, she means thermal shirts.
Yeah, Dad has these big thermal. It's not a shirt, is it? It's a butt because it's.
It's a shirt.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was like a jacket.
It's a button-down shirt.
Okay.
It's what people wear when they go hunting or if they're outside doing stuff.
So I basically have one I keep in my room because I have a lot of temperature fluctuations. And I had the particular one I liked, so it's more red than the others.
Yeah, I saw those. I like that one too. I like the weight of that one.
Yes, it's a very comfortable weight. So I just kind of claimed that one because I do wear it all the time.
Yeah, I like to steal things from my husband's closet on occasion because they're a little bit bigger.
Well, I figure there's enough thermal shirts hanging in our
basement.
Hanging from our basement door that no one's gonna miss the one I use all the time.
But
because it's been so cold, I'll wear that over my Franciscan University alumni hoodie that I'm one of those people that I guess I play with my sleeve when I'm thinking. And it's all coming apart in the bend of the sleeve. My other favorite hoodie I used to wear at Franciscan, which was a zip up, it's the same way. It's like completely wrecked at the sleeve. It was before I knit. So I didn't have something to keep my hands busy, and I would just wreck my sleeves. But anyway, over that and the thermal thing, I'll wear my shawl. And then I'll, get underneath all my crochet blankets and my one knit blanket.
Right. I was hot this morning. I was cold at night, and then I got hot, and then I had to turn off the fan when I got up to go to the restroom, so when I got up, it wasn't going to be freezing again. But 'cause we run the fans all the time, it helps me to breathe.
Yes, that's the same way for me. It's like I don't feel like I get enough airflow if I don't have a fan going, so that increases the chill.
So yeah, this is growing very well, and one of these days I'll surprise you, and it'll actually be finished. I was hoping to have it done for Talia's birthday, but that didn't happen. But partially, well, it wouldn't have got done anyway. Most likely would have been a rush to the finish, but partially because I spent all Sunday in the kitchen. So
it was a good meal, though.
Yeah.
And we have some left, which I'll probably have some today when you guys have chili.
Well, then what are you gonna have tomorrow?
Was it fresh chili?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I know we had leftover chili.
No, it's fresh chili.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this one.
The problem with the chili is that I have spicy bean dip to use as a base versus normal bean dip, so it's going to be a very spicy meal. But I'll think about it then. Spice and I don't always get along.
Right. It's your turn.
I know, I was looking through my
Your
shorts.
turn.
I had to find what I was working on.
Excuses.
So, in my Silver Shed USA books bag, this is Kingfisher Socks. That's the project. The pattern is the Vanilla Latte Socks by Virginia Rose Jeans. It was previously misnamed the Peacock Socks because I didn't register correctly what my yarn was. And
It didn't quite look like peacock colors.
no, I don't know why I kept thinking it was peacock.
Because you wanted to do the peacock at that time.
I have no idea. But this,
Very nice.
it's very pretty. I live for this dash of orange here. Actually, it's all exciting because you're like, oh yeah, I get the light blue. Ooh, I get the other blue and the other blue. Orange.
Old people color. Old people colors.
Why are the old people
All
colors?
that's missing is the pink.
It's not old people colors.
Old people colors.
This is.
No. Old people colors. When I was a kid, and Pat, I apologize in advance. You go to Florida or whatever, and you'd see those pinks and light blues and light greens. I was like, old people colors,
This is like marine colors.
It's very pretty. I wouldn't say orange was a marine
Not
color.
other than the orange. But the
unless,
others
you,
are
unless, you,
marine.
unless you say the sunrise or sunset on the water,
Right.
and that would work.
But it's very pretty. And the pattern is nice and simple. There we go.
Let me see how many I have here. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the last row of this blue, I think. Before I go into a different color, which is good. That's the fun thing about the scrap shawl pattern is that you get to change colors, and you get to change despite the fact that you're doing a fair amount of distance with it because the stitches are so big. You cover it pretty quickly.
Right.
And you can make it. If I wanted to, I could do one row of.
yeah.
That might be pretty.
One row of everything.
One row of every. If you have 8 skeins of yarn.
Well, it'd be like when you do something like look at these socks here. That's basically the idea that they're doing. They have a set number. Say it's like 5 rows they repeat, and then they just keep doing it over and over again.
Well, like this gray here, I think is 2 rows. Let me see, 1, 2, 2 rows. So if you wanted to make all your ends be on the same side and carry it up the side, then you do 2 rows of every. I might have to do that. Every color that you have, just 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows.
And then you never have to cut.
And you never have to cut. You just carry it up the side.
Now that'd be a lot of balls of yarn active at the same time.
Yeah, it would.
And actually, you would have to cut at some point because if there's a lot of space in between certain colors.
No, you just carry it up. It just takes up a lot of yarn, and it would get a little bulky on that side if you have a lot of skeins.
Because I know when I would do the forest floor, I would have to cut at some point.
I mean, there's different ways that you could do that. I mean, we could do I could do 2, 2, 2, and then say maybe 3 or 4 colors, so you don't have a lot that you're carrying up.
Yeah.
And then phase out
Other
the
colors.
earliest ones, and then phase in more colors,
And then phase out and phase in.
Yeah,
Agreed.
And then you would have fewer to carry up the
yeah,
side.
because you don't want it to be too bulky and too obvious.
That would be fun. I have to think about that. I have 3 of these on the hook already, so
What's another one?
I need another one right now.
Besides, this one's about to be done.
But my husband, like I said, he would look at whatever it was, and I didn't really look at it closely. He says, "Is that another shawl? It could be a toy. It could be a scarf. No, is that another shawl? No."
It's like, yes, this thing that's totally toy shaped is absolutely a shawl.
Well, he was just looking at the fact that I was crocheting something or knitting something. I said, a shawl, because that's what you make, apparently.
I mean, to be fair, we do make a lot of shawls.
We do. They're unless they're really intricate or they're more intricate, they're kind of like doing a blanket. But it
we
has
also
more
wear
interest.
shawls.
Yes,
we don't
do.
just like make them then stick them in a drawer. We both actively wear them.
Yep.
I think I probably wear them slightly more than you do.
Well, because you wear them in the house more.
Yeah.
I have so much stuff that I'm doing in the house that I don't, Okay, it's your turn.
Okay. So next for me is in my Little Skein in the Big Wool Velveteen Rabbit bag. These are the rainbow socks. The pattern is Vanilla Cream by K.F. Jones. This got a little bit of progress. I think I'm getting close to where I want to be to start the heel.
Yay. Yay for heels.
Come here.
As soon as I'm sure of what I'm doing, I'll be doing these ends.
I haven't completely decided if I'm doing a 7-inch leg or an 8-inch leg. Usually I do 7.
I'd be interested in seeing what you decide.
So, and this has mini stripes.
I like that. That's kind of fun.
So,
For the sock, it's pretty fun.
and it's fun. I feel like sometimes on screen the colors will blend together more, so you don't get the full prettiness. Whereas in person, you do get to see the full prettiness.
That would be a fun, overall for one of your toys.
Mhm.
Or a little dress.
Like, it would be fun, right, for it'd be like a teddy bear
Yes,
or
yes.
something like that.
Or a little bunny or something.
Right, it had to be something that's not a terribly complicated,
Right.
it has to be a fairly simple, almost rustic looking.
Kind of like the when you do for charity that
Yeah,
that one.
because it can't be that the pattern and the yarn are fighting each other,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still cute.
Well, the pattern wouldn't because the dress would be plain.
Well, I was actually talking about the toy
I
itself.
know you were. That's what I was saying. That it wouldn't make a whole lot of difference unless it was something really super. And you wouldn't want to do it on anything that does color work.
Right, and what I would say is if you had a muzzle,
Mm-hmm.
the muzzle would be a different color. Like you would pick one of the colors of the stripes, and that would be the muzzle, and the bottoms of the paws.
Or it could be just a neutral color toy, like a teddy bear that has brown and gold and tan,
and then the outfit.
and then the outfit. It's just very simple and very cute. It'd be very sweet. A little bunny with the little cream ears, and a little golden bunny or a little gray bunny with the cute dress.
Right.
So
And check out Knittables if you're looking for patterns that will totally provide you with animals with a little cute dress or whatever outfit you want. She has tons of outfits. If you have a child, or if you as an adult are pretending that you have a child, so you can make changes of clothes for your toys.
if you like playing with your toys, nobody's judging you.
Exactly.
Nobody's judging you. I like toys that have outfits with them.
My bunny is sitting there sad that she's naked.
Yeah, you really should do something about
Well, I
that.
have her dress partially made. Actually, it's the dress, because I still have to make the apron part.
Are you making her a nursing outfit, or is it just...
It's a nursing
yeah,
outfit.
yeah.
And the dress is blue. If you look at the old nursing outfits, they had the blue, and they had the white over, and then they had the white cap. So it's a
Right.
very old-fashioned nursing outfit. But it was straight stockinette with maybe some decreases. And maybe I was at a decrease part and I couldn't focus.
Right.
And also, you have to be in the mood to do that, because it's flat and it doesn't give you necessarily immediate rewards.
Right, right. And arguably, I could do that since it's flat.
Oh yeah,
But-
her patterns, I think, because they are flat, they're very good for people who maybe are more nervous about toys and knit.
Yeah. Well,
And she gives you great instructions for seaming. Her toys are intended to be good for charity.
is that the one with the bear too? I have.
Yes, the bear that you
I have
like.
the bear. Yeah.
She
I think I have
has
the bunny too.
she has a ton of different animals, but she also has her sheep is adorable. I don't tend to gravitate towards the ones that actually look like people. I find
People.
knitted people to be creepy.
Yeah, I don't care for dolls like that. I mean, I might, like I have the Elsa and Anna patterns for Davina in the crochet.
Mhm.
And
I don't know why I find the knitted people to be creepy, whereas the knitted animals are adorable.
well, I don't know. Are you finished?
I am finished.
Okay. In my B-Wing country bag is my Country Roads blanket project from the Jelly Roll blanket pattern by K.F. Jones. We always I have at least one thing by K.F. Jones on the hooks, the needles usually. She doesn't have much on the hooks, but I did change color. So yay, you can see that I've
Yay.
actually done something on this.
New.
So here we go. And I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but it's getting there.
Because it's lengthwise, right?
It's lengthwise.
So you
So-
could be doing it for a while.
Yeah, and the squares, I'm not even worrying about how long the squares are going to be. If I decide
They're
that,
not squares, they're panels.
no, I'm talking about within
Oh,
the panel.
within the panel. Okay, yeah.
I don't care. It might be one it's going to be a true patchwork in that
Well, that's
it's,
perfect.
I'm not going to worry my head about it.
Now, are you making this so something you can wear while you're sitting on your chair? Or are you putting it...
I haven't decided.
Because you don't have anything for that, and you do get chilly sitting there.
I haven't decided what this is going to be. I'm just excited that if I learn how to do this, I'll know how to pick up stitches,
Right.
and I can see myself make, because this is not like squares that for some reason drive me insane.
Right.
I think I could make more of
Because
these.
we absolutely need to add to our blanket collection in this house. How many blankets? We don't have any.
None.
None.
No blankets.
Well, actually, we don't have that many knitted ones, actually.
I have,
You have the patchwork one, but I think it's all crochet.
I think there are some knitted ones in there. Sue put together the anniversary blanket that you all made for me.
I
and
know there's some crochet in there. I thought there's some crochet.
there's crochet and knit
Okay.
in there.
She did an excellent job.
She
piecing
did an
that
excellent
together.
job.
I actually think I owe Sue a message because she contacted me on my birthday and I responded. And
Oh,
she
that was
responded
nice.
back.
I have to touch base with her too. But anyway, this I can see even doing baby blankets with.
Right.
It's just very cute, and it's not, depending on the weight you use, it can be heavier or not so heavy. And if I can learn to pick up the stitches, I can see it being one of my go-tos. It's
Once
just,
you get into picking up stitches isn't hard, and I think Kay probably has a tutorial on that.
she probably does. And if I get mixed up, I can always use the
And I mean,
my personal tutor here.
you're also still in the Patreon, so you could probably contact either probably on the, I would say the Facebook group would be the best place because someone will get back to you, either
Right.
point you in the right direction. But they also have, I think if you go to their website and you follow the links, it will take you to a list of all their tutorials.
Well,
and
they-
if she has one on pick up stitches, it'll take you there.
Dan just did an upgrade on that just a few weeks ago, so I have to see. But anyway, yeah, I'm on my fourth color. So, and yeah, it's going slowly, but this is not something I'm in a rush for. I am enjoying it, which surprised me.
That's great. I'm glad.
because it's just garter stitch, you know?
Right.
And so, and it looks more complicated than it is. I like it.
Garter stitch is a nice cushy texture too.
It
I like
is.
it for a blanket.
And I could do this if I wanted to in stockinette, but I prefer not to.
Right. No, it's nicer as garter. I mean, if you think about the miter square, it's also garter. I
And I
think
really don't have much of a desire. I've tried the miter square. I've done miter squares. I don't know what it is. And maybe that will change when I learn to pick up stitches.
right.
But
Because you
e-
have never gotten to the point where you actually pick up stitches for it.
But even with the crocheted ones that I know how to join, I don't like doing the squares. I don't know why. I just don't. And I've even put them in, put some together. I don't want to. So, but this is fun. I'm enjoying this. Maybe I just have some kind of a block against it.
Mental block, yeah.
No pun intended. Okay, it's your turn.
All right. For me, next are the gray yard socks. This is the one I had to get up and grab because I have this hanging from my desk, one of my desk drawers, because I usually just have it out in the open, so I will just work on it if I happen to be on my desk. So I forgot about it when I was grabbing my projects. So this is my Firefly bag from Slip Stitch Studios, and it's got like shiny brown coat, Goram, big D heroes. this is your captain speaking. We're having a little problem with our entry sequence. We may experience some slight turbulence and then explode. Wash, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
This here's a recipe for unpleasantness. That's obviously Mal. That just sounds like Mal.
Find book.
Ha ha ha! Mine is an evil laugh. Now die!
Sad.
That's Wash. He's playing with his dinosaurs.
His dinosaurs. Yeah. I liked Wash.
We've got some local color happening. A grand entrance would not go amiss. Mal.
Mm-hmm.
This is also Mal. I swear by my pretty floral bonnet, I will end you.
What pretty floral bonnet.
Okay, so an episode, I can't remember which episode
I've
it
seen
was.
all the episodes. I just
It begins with Mal and I think it might be Jane on a wagon. And Mal is dressed up like he's his wife or something. So he's wearing a pretty floral bonnet.
because of course you can't have Jane being dressed up like a woman.
Jane has a beard.
Jane had a beard? I guess he did have a
He
beard.
has facial hair.
Yeah.
Besides, Jane doesn't have the, he's insecure.
Yes, he is. That's what I was saying. You can't have Jane be.
Oh, this one's also Mal. We've done the impossible and that makes us mighty. I think I've hit most of... Okay, Wash. Ah! Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal! I love this show.
I do too. And I like the movie too, even though they killed Wash off in the movie.
Well, the movie I have some issues with, only because some of the things that they did in the movie kind of make some of the things that happen in the show not make as much sense, or they outright contradict some of the things in the show. So I have some issues with some things they did in the movie.
Well, I saw the movie first.
I saw the show first. I don't know who this is. She's starting to damage my calm. I'm pretty sure that's Mal.
For River?
Probably River. Now, this one is pretty much, I'm sure, is Mal. We got us some crime to be done.
Crime?
Crime.
Crime.
Like as in committing a crime.
Shame on him. Show the project.
Okay.
Show the project.
I think I've got most of the awesomeness in here.
Show the project.
This is such a quotable show.
Yes, it is.
But we actually don't have any Rivers in here. Oh, there's a, here's a Kaylee. Captain Tight Pants. Yes, sir, Captain Tight Pants. Okay. So, this is the Graveyard Field Socks by Pat Hensley. Okay, just want to make sure it wasn't coming off the needle.
I keep remember River's reaction to Book's hair.
I love that. He's putting the hair away now, River. No, it'll be there, waiting. And then when she looks at Jane, and I can kill you with my brain.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like,
Poor Jane. I just love Mal's reaction when Jane tried to get rid of him.
oh yeah. Well, you don't do that.
No.
Mal is very
Well, they were under his protection.
right. He might not like Simon, but he's
I think it's more like
he respects.
him.
He does respect him.
Yeah.
They've got different
Yeah.
personalities.
I don't think that he doesn't like him. I think he doesn't understand him.
He doesn't understand. I think you're right. He doesn't
Yeah.
understand him. But
And River freaks him out.
well, yeah, River freaks
Although
out.
I love the conversation with him and River at the end. When sorry, guys.
Your brother ruined your plan. He takes such taking care of.
Yes. Well, she calls him when they come to rescue her, and
She says, "Daddy's coming."
Daddy's coming, and she's talking about Mal.
Well, she, I think, in her head, basically disowned her
Yeah.
parents because, I mean, they refused to believe Simon that anything was going on. And the people who were there for them were the crew of the Serenity. I would argue that Anara is like the mother figure of the group.
Possibly.
Because Kaylee's like a sister.
Kaylee's like her sister. Her kind of not very able sister.
And then I'm not sure where you'd put, why did my brain just die? Wash's wife.
Yeah, that's what's her name?
I can see her in my
I
head.
can see her, yeah. She reminds me of the girl, even though she doesn't look anything like her, of the girl on Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she looks nothing like her.
No, I didn't
But
say she did, but she reminds me of her.
she's tough as nails.
Yeah.
I like her. You need her to even out Mal, because sometimes Mal can be a bit erratic. And she's always like straight cross. Zoe.
Zoe. But it would take me a whole while to get to the end of the alphabet.
Zoe and Wash Mom, they're like...
Show your project.
Okay. Here, look at... It's grown quite a bit, I think. I don't know if it always shows up as well on screen as it does in person.
Looks very pretty.
So...
Keep losing my show notes.
It's a nice pattern.
Because we waffle.
And I figure I'll probably have... And try to keep a pair of toe... Even though I don't generally do toe up, it probably just keep my hand and keep a pair of toe up, 2 at a time socks going.
Right.
And then, because then there's always, when you finish it, it's just like, oh yeah, finish both of them. Sweet. There you go.
You should call this trivia heavy or something, or reference heavy or something. Let's see, where am I? Let's see, put this here. Okay, are you done with that?
I am.
Put this away. And this skein is getting smaller.
It is.
I showed this. No, I didn't show this. This is in my Emma Owls bag that Emma gave me, and I absolutely love it. She wasn't using it, and she knows I like owls, and she gave it to me, which I thought was very generous of her. And the yarn is actually gifted to me as well by Crystal, who is chronically crocheting. Thank you, Crystal. This is ice yarn. She gave me 3 skeins, and I'm about maybe a third of the way through the second skein for this blanket I'm making. It's from the Sarah Bell Scarf pattern by Sarah Sweetheart, because I don't have any on the hook.
None whatsoever.
So look at how prettily this is working out really nice.
It's really nice as a baby blanket because it looks very classy.
Mm-hmm. And this pattern makes even the most difficult... I think it has to be a very, very special kind of yarn if it doesn't work well in the store.
Indeed.
It's quite a nice pattern.
I think a mini stripes might be challenging.
I think it would come out speckly.
Yeah.
Or something for mini stripes because you have so many pieces to the one stitch. I think you might... Or you might get like little starbursts.
Right. Which might be pretty.
It might be pretty, yeah. Depending on, what kind of stripes you have.
Right.
But yeah, this is a fun pattern, and I'm making progress on it as I go. And that takes care of that one.
Okay. Now, I don't think you would use something that's patterned. Because it would then defeat the purpose of that yarn.
What do you mean, like a
West Yorkshire spinner where it has a definite pattern to it?
Well, it has like socks and stuff that have like little like ducks or whatever.
Well, usually that's not the yarn that's making the little ducks.
It has to be because you just do a vanilla sock and it comes out with these little... I don't know how they do it. And I've just used ducks.
I think usually it's like geometric.
It could be. Or it could be that if circles the way it's done, it might give the impression of ducks.
Well, like you have checker type on this sock. Mm-hmm. So this is actually, the birds are kind of like a patterned sock. And I think you would lose the effect of that if you did something like a Sarah Bell with that kind of yarn.
Right.
It's meant more for like variegated and almost anything else. Sorry, guys. My cough drop from earlier ran out. So, my final project is in my... Oh, this is another bag from Laura. Adelaide Cottage Bunny's bag. I think this one's so precious.
It is. I think that's one your
right
stitch marker came off of that
one.
It
is, because the stitch marker is actually on the sock. Yeah. So... this is the Dandelion sock pattern by K.F. Jones. And the idea is that you do the pattern as soon as you have a color change. So if I had something with wider stripes, there'd be more distance between the patterning.
That's
and this is
fun.
Really pretty. The colorway is vintage tinsel. And this is a West Yorkshire Spinners. There's that stitch marker Mom was talking about that was a zipper pull. And look at that. It's funny that I wouldn't have necessarily thought of these as Christmas colors. Now the top is not a Christmas color. The top was a different West Yorkshire Spinners that was given to me to go with the Kingfisher. And this one is... Oh, I don't think I have the ball band in this bag. I think it's in a different bag. and I don't have my notes with that, but with that on it. So I can't remember what the name of the colorway for this is. But this darker blue, it actually goes okay with what I have going on. It'll be heels and toes as well. This is one of her few patterns that has cuff, heels, and toes. But I think she doesn't want it to mess with her stripes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So you've got, interestingly, colors I wouldn't have thought of for Christmas. The green I would have. That's a very Christmassy green.
And blue is a Christmas color. Red is a Christmas color.
This isn't red.
It's kind of a pinky red.
It's kind of like a maroon.
Yeah.
And then you have like this
I wouldn't say it was
orangey color.
That's
Ouch.
not a maroon. That's a pink.
Okay.
Maroon has kind of got more of a wine color to it, at least.
And then you've got this purple.
Yeah.
But it's a very dark kind of sock. But it's pretty. And it's got sparkle to it. I'm not sure if you can tell.
That's where the tinsel comes in.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. And it's kind of addictive because you tell yourself, okay, I've done my 2-row repeat of the little bit pattern. I just want to do like a row or two to like make sure that I know where I'm at when I start again. And then you're almost at the next pattern. You're like, oh, I might as well just start the pattern for the next stripe. And then next thing you know, you're halfway down the sock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would be farther on this if I didn't tell myself the night I started this. Because I've only worked on this one, maybe 1.5. I didn't work on this very long. I worked on the starts before bed, and I had to tell myself, no, you need to stop now. No more row to prep for the... No.
No more, just one more row.
Yeah.
No,
Because
just more
then I'd
color.
be like, well, I'll just go to where I have done everything twice.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that is what I did. Because
I can see that.
I went to the next purple, and I told myself I couldn't go any farther, which was hard.
Elf control.
Elf control is hard.
Mm.
Hard.
There's elf control, and then there was the one that me and Miss Noah had to contend with, which was willpower. That was his name, willpower. Because we used to have a running gag with him.
Oh, okay.
Willpower. Okay, you done?
I am done. That's the last of my projects.
In my Silver Shed USA blue canvas bag is my Virtual Hugs shawl from the Scrap Shawl pattern by Anastasia Zattel. And this is how far I've gotten on it. I'm still on this kind of tonal, variegated, purpley, pinky kind of colors. It's showing up not at all pretty. No.
Okay.
No. This is the...
Oh, it's crochet.
Yeah. This is, yeah.
Oh, I see. Duh. I don't know why my brain didn't register. Probably because I used that as a...
Yeah. So this is moving along well.
It is moving along well.
And I have a whole bunch of different colors for this. This is just
That's
different.
part of the fun of it, is you get to use up all this yarn.
Because I have all this yarn that I picked up, various fiber festivals and stuff, or when I went to my local yarn shop for whatever reason, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Right.
And so now I can make things with it, and then I can my own personal stash of yarn is going down quite a bit,
Which is good.
because I've been crocheting from stash.
I think I've been mostly, other than, the West Yorkshire spinners, which I was gifted, most of my stuff has been from stash. Now, I've been knitting a lot of West Yorkshire spinners because I like the socks, so it's like...
Yeah. So yeah, this is done. Okay. You don't have any more?
I do not.
Okay, my other one is like yours.
Okay, well, first you have the rip and I have the FO.
First I have the what?
Rip. Did you have rock something?
I have 2 rips.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see.
I figure frogs go first because it's negative.
Right. I can't even really show you because I ripped them. And I ripped 2 of them. The Turtle Shell Dishcloth Project from the Knit a Ball Band Dishcloth by Knitting and Crochet. And I just didn't want to. It's a mosaic. I think it's actually a crochet mosaic. Maybe not. One of these, anyway. So this is a skein of my yarn, and I've been trying to find a project for.
You should just shove it into scrap something or other.
Yeah, I think I said I was going to put it in my my blanket. So this, because I really like this.
Yeah. Hey, can you go into yarn after this? Because I really need to.
Okay. You're not going to be able to get out here.
I'll go through. What we'll do is we'll push your table back.
Okay.
I think that'll be the best way to keep from, spilling everything.
Okay, the other one and that was my this is an old knitting's my bag gnomes bag. Okay, and it's really cute. It's a cute bag. And then in my Kickapoo bags, it's a small brown teacups bag, and this is the one that Ty has, the other one that she calls the ugly green. This Denise, who is Knitting Dan, had a kit that she had, and we each got a bag. And this had the Little Green Man project, which was a gnome, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So because I'm not apparently in the mood to do any kind of stuffies, so that's what I frogged for that. Now Taya wanted me to go into the yarn stuff. I don't have anything really to show you. I did finish Laura's special order, but it's over there. The colors are these colors. Makes me happy. This green and this fuchsia. And it's not showing up very brightly on the screen I see. It's showing up brighter on that other screen over there. So I have to reskein it so I can send it out to her. I'm going to start putting together, I've done several skeins of yarn to go with the Podiversary kits. So I have to sit down with the bag and the yarn and put them together to see exactly how many more skeins I have to do. I don't think it's more than 3 or 4 of the main skein. The skein that is going to be part of the package. I have to figure that out. Then I have to reskein them. So I've reskeined a few of them. I have to put ball bands on them. I have to put the packages together. So it might be a few more weeks before I can get everything put together and sent out. But now that I've got the special orders done, I can concentrate a little bit more on that. In fact, today I'm planning, if I have enough time, to go ahead and sit down with the bags and the yarns for the kits and put together what I have for each person with their name on it, and then I know what has to be put into each bag to complete the kit. Okay. As for other yarns, I will be dyeing up more yarn. I just have to, I have to do the kit first. I do have stuff in the shop. I may be doing a sale for
Your day of birth?
my birthday. Maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe. Probably be about 20% off if I remember to do it, because
Well, that's this weekend.
yeah.
I was noticing it when I was putting together my medicine for the month. And, which means actually we shouldn't be doing Cracker Barrel for my birthday.
Yeah,
we
we
should
are
be doing yours.
No, we're just pushing mine back a week.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because that's
yeah.
taking your weekend.
I have the. We'll just stagger it. I mean,
Have you decided what you're going to have for your birthday?
No.
You should probably let us know sooner rather than later. Just saying.
Anyway, so yeah, the shop is open. It is. I do have things in it. I hope to be putting some stuff in the near future, but I do want to focus on the Podiversary stuff so I can get it out to you. The Podiversary is not until May. The reason we did so early was because Anne was closing shop.
Right.
And
also it gave you time to start thinking about the colorway and not to feel stressed, because
Yes.
she does get really stressed with this kind of thing.
Especially with all the other things that were happening. So that's all I have to really say, I think, about the shop. Do you have anything to say about the shop? Because you might as well do it while we're
Okay,
doing
so
shop.
shop news, I'll do designs first and I'll do FO.
So the shop news, her shop news, my last project ties in with that as well.
So,
This one, it's the other one.
for shop news, wrong bag. This bag I can't show you because just threw stuff all over the floor.
Yeah.
I am doing a design. This is one way to the design. This is the other way to the design. I'm going to provide instructions in the pattern for maybe suggested needle sizes. There'll be pictures of 3 different versions of the pattern in the pattern itself, so you can see what it looks like in different sizes.
And this is my version of it, and my version is slightly different. than her
Yes,
version?
because I have a couple different versions.
So this is in here.
It might take a little while, but
It's here.
it's here, yes. Actually, these got a fair amount of work.
And I have to show you this too.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that.
Okay.
So that's for shop news for me. Now, what I would have shown earlier, except that I had to run away for a second. The whole reason why I was able to start tinsel was because I freed up the needles. And I'm so happy to have another pair of West Yorkshire spinners. These are the bullfinch socks. These have been a long time coming. This is the Jemima sock pattern by K.F. Jones. This is another pattern I wouldn't mind repeating at some point.
It's very pretty.
So,
Very pretty.
and those, this color here is, not jalapeno,
Cayenne? No.
I think it is
Or
cayenne.
is it paprika?
No, it's cayenne. It's not paprika. Paprika's, they do have paprika, but it's a slightly different color. No, this is cayenne. And then it's a bullfinch, for the
pretty.
main part. So, yes, very happy with these. And they will join my sock collection, pronto. It'll go into circulation, which is awesome. So, yes, then, didn't you have rips? You already showed rips. So then that leads us on to, I guess that's writing and reading.
Yeah. We need to.
Yeah, we're almost
2 o'clock, so I don't know how we got so late.
We started late.
I don't know how I got started early. I got off the machine at.
Yeah, it is
12.
that we had our cupcake beforehand.
Well, I think we got sidetracked.
And also I had to do my show notes because I took a nap this morning, so I didn't have it ready like I would have wanted to.
So we're gonna have to kind of go, as happens a lot of times with our books. We have to kind of speed through them.
Well, I don't have a lot of variety anyway.
I don't either.
For me, I mean.
Let me see here. What are we doing first?
Books and or writing.
Okay.
This is one thing I really enjoyed learning from
Oh,
Kayla's
we have
folding
stash
socks.
enhancements.
Oh, that's true. We do stash enhancement, and I have a fair amount of those because birthday. Yeah. Now some of it's in my room because I wasn't gonna drag my.
Well, if you've got a lot, I'm gonna do mine first.
Okay.
because I've-
One thing that's not present I am going to talk about. Well, 3 things. I have a desk lamp / magnifying glass because if I do close work, I have a tendency, and I need to actually take off my glasses when I do close work because I tend to look over my glasses. My dad does the same thing. He takes off his glasses actually when he's doing close work. I need to just do that. Plus, now I have a magnifying glass, so when I look at knots, it'll make it look like it's really close. It has a light with 3 different settings, kind of like your thing here. It goes bright, white. It's like yellowish, bright, white, and then the orange that I need for my light sensitivity. Then I have by my bedside, it's put out by the same people. This isn't Somnolight, this is a different brand, but by Somnolight that also does my light sensitivity migraine glasses. They had a nightlight / reading lamp, so it's on my bedside, and the nightlight was nice because it had a red. It was enough that there was a little bit of light in the room, but the light didn't hurt my eyes, which the phone will make my eyes hurt. And then the lamp was really easy to read by. It also has 3 settings, including the orange. So yeah, those are the ones. Oh, and the other I can't show is I have a month. You can fill at the beginning of the month, and I can put all my 4 times a day meds in there. So I don't lose track of when I need to call for refills, because I've done that and gone right to the day before it arrives. I've luckily never run out, but this will hopefully prevent me from, doing that
All
again.
right, let me do mine real quick because I only have a little bit, and then I need to do something. So,
Okay.
Trying to see what.
Oh yeah, we got birthday gifts from Adagio
Yeah,
because
on Adagio because it's their birthday.
on Adagio, first of all, if you put in your birthday, people can see when your birthday is, in the community.
Well, let me just do this.
Okay. Well, I wanted to explain how it works.
Okay, go ahead.
And then people can then choose to use their points, which they accrue every time they buy something, to give you gifts from their points. Because not everyone knows how the system works.
I'm not sure which ones I showed last week. I know I showed those last week. But I got another birthday tin.
Yay!
And this was a limited edition. It's called Year of the Tiger. And it's this limited edition tea celebrates 2022 as the Year of the Water Tiger.
Which I've never even heard of a water tiger.
Me either. Oolong tea, considered a blue tea in Asia, honors the tiger's lucky color, while accents of chocolate represent its strength and orange peels symbolize its bright wit. Watch out though, because the addition of ginger gives this tea a tiger's bite. So it sounds right up my alley. I've discovered that oolong might be a tea I like.
Right. What I see about oolongs is for one thing, they have a really good shelf life, and for another thing, they're great for re-steepings. Mm-hmm. They're one of the better teas for re-steepings.
I had a red oolong. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to re-steep it because I didn't have time.
Right. That was
It was a red oolong.
It was a master's tea. Thankfully, it's a $3 one. So if you wanted to get more,
because I might have to go back and do that because there was so little in it that I don't think I have enough to make another cup of tea.
Right. You might have to get a couple.
Yeah. So it was really good. I'd never had a red oolong before. I'm not real familiar with oolong anyway, but I had this red oolong and it was really good. It surprised me. So, but this one is just a regular oolong, but they call it a blue tea. So
which is interesting.
That's interesting. I never heard of a blue tea. Now, I don't remember which of these I showed. This is mine too, right?
Yes,
I showed you before. This is the Samurai Mott, which I've had before. It's really good. And this one is yerba mate, green rooibos, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom.
I think you tried that. That was the one I had on the day I wasn't feeling well.
Right, and you gave it to me, I think.
I think I did because I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, and that was really good. So I picked one up. And then this is masala chai. This was a gift. I love masala chai, and this is, really looking forward to breaking into this. And then the white peach.
And you've always loved that one.
I like the white peach. So white peach, white pear, I'm finding out that I do like white teas. They're just, I have to remember that they're just a little mild.
Right, and they don't tend to re-steep well.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll be back.
So, because it's my birthday, I have a fair amount of stash enhancement. We're going to start with the one I already kind of talked about, which is the Miss Babs from, let me give her receipt. I don't think she realized she gave that to me. So this is a birthday gift from Mom and Dad, and this is, first of all, little mini skein. The colorway is Morticia. Don't know that you can see it very well. It's like it's mostly gray. There's a little bit of purple in there. And then the big deal, of course, is the Squash Blossom. I love this yarn. This is one of my favorite colors to put into things. I have a sweater going right now with it. I'm going to make a Thorns hooded cowl with this. I have a couple hats. One that's color work, one that's not with this color. I need to make a pair of fingerless mitts with this. I don't have a pair of fingerless mitts yet in this color. I don't know how that happened. That needs to be attended to. So, yes, about everything I could have in this, I do. Oh, I have a shawl with this and then green and blue. So it's like the only thing I'm missing is the fingerless mitts and the hooded cowl. And then I'll have one of just about everything with this lovely color. So yeah, there's that. And Mom gave me all her black teas from her box that it was like a surprise box, like you choose a mystery box from Adagio to use your points. And she got the mystery box and she gave me all her her black teas, which is August 4th, August 28th, another August 28th, August 5th, and August 6th. So I don't think these are teas I could get again. I think these are part of a kit or something at one point. Then we split I think she gave me this because she realized they had green tea and thought that I'd like it. So someone had given us, I can't remember who, had given us these teas, and Mom and I had split it down the middle. And then she's like, oh, this is green tea, you should have this. So It's a Fruity Paradise. And it's a Tiesta tea. It's got green tea, pineapple, black tea, mango, natural flavors, rose petals. Oh, I love things with rose petals. Raspberry bits, strawberries. Then we split the National Park tea collection because we're obviously not doing a good job at going around to all national parks. So I got most of the black tea ones. This is, if it's going to be nice, it has Lapsang Souchong. I like Lapsang Souchong. Great Smoky Mountains. Black teas, Lapsang Souchong tea, blackberries, blackberry leaf, marigold petals, and blackberry flavor. I've got Yellowstone, black teas, prickly pear flavor, safflower, bloom cornflower petals, strawberry pieces. Oops, is a bunny. Oat straw, and natural bergamot flavor. And for Simpson and Vale's National Park collection, they donate 10% of their sales from this line to preserve the national parks. So if that's something you're interested in. And then I got Shenandoah, which made me happy because it's a green tea. And now, if I like this one, I can see myself picking up Shenandoah again because it's Shenandoah. We're in the Shenandoah Valley.
And I might taste that and see if I like it.
Because you do like green teas.
Some of them, yes.
Yes, you don't like all the green teas, but this is green tea, lemon peel, ginger pieces, natural lemon flavor, and butterfly pea flowers. I wonder if that's the only thing on it. There we go. Oh, I didn't look at it, but here's your receipt for my Miss Babs.
Do you like it?
Of course.
Okay.
That's my favorite color.
Well, I'm just saying so I don't have to worry about returning it. I can get rid of the receipt.
You will never have to worry about returning Squash Blossom.
Well, I know that, but I just have to make sure.
Squash Blossom.
I appreciate it, Laura. Laura let me know, I think it was the day after Christmas, Laura Concert let me know that Miss Babs was having a sale and they had Squash Blossom.
Laura is very familiar with my love of Squash Blossom.
And she knows when our birthdays are, so
yeah.
It's like,
So other gifts for me from Adagio people. Someone gave me Lapsang Souchong, which I do love, which is why I think I'm going to like, I think it was the Smoky Mountains that had Lapsang Souchong on it. Let's put it over here. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I'll like Smoky Mountains too. I tend to like things. Russian Caravan has Lapsang Souchong in it. So I tend to like Lapsang Souchong. Whoopsie. Someone else has given it to me too, so I have 2 of these, which is awesome. This one I really want to try. I'm glad that someone gave it to me. Valentine's. Mm-hmm. It's got black tea, rose petals, natural chocolate flavor, natural strawberry flavor, cocoa nibs, dark chocolate chips, and strawberries.
Sounds good.
Doesn't that sound excellent?
Sounds good.
So I'm really looking forward to trying that one. And then this was sweet. This lady and I were talking back and forth about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Narnia series. And I was telling them about the fact that I've never actually technically finished the last 2 books. Mm-hmm. I always peter out once the Pevensies kind of get filtered out and you start moving to Eustace being the main character. So we had her talk back and forth about that. And then when she saw my birthday, she got me Beaver's Breakfast, which is a Narnia themed tea. And this is right up my alley. It's hazelnut, Irish breakfast, and cinnamon. Like, that doesn't that have my name on it?
No.
Okay. No, it has Mr. Beaver's name on it. But
you have a tea with your name on it.
I do.
Don't appropriate other
And someone
people's.
else gave me that tea as well. So I have enough that if I wanted to, I could probably start a container with it. But I use my points on other things, so I have to wait to get containers for a while.
I might be able to get containers later on.
So, and then I got more of the birthday tea, which it's already empty because I put it in my container. I took an old Simpson Vale and put my birthday tea in there because I didn't want to use yet unless I'm sure they'll consistently have this for birthdays. I didn't want to use an Adagio one for it. But if they do consistently have this, because you can't purchase this, they just send this to you for your birthday.
I have a tin up there that I'm not using for anything.
You should put birthday in there.
I might put birthday in there.
Because I only use this for lattes because it's excellent in a latte. Tastes like caramel.
I love caramel.
So,
You might want to pick up the
and
pace.
it's called Make a Wish.
You might want to pick up the pace. It's almost 2:00.
Okay. So, Literary Knits, really awesome. This is, I think, the shawl I wanted to show you. No, that's Jane Eyre. There was a shawl in here that I wanted to show Mom.
You can show it to me later.
Oh, I just saw the hood. It's a Galadriel hooded dress. So there's a lot of lovely patterns in there. I would wear that over something.
Yeah, well, it's longer than it looks, too.
True. But I mean, with knitted pattern
Yeah, yeah.
fabric, I'd always be afraid of it showing through. There's a lot of really pretty... This is the one, Mom. It's the Emma shawl.
Nice.
The back I wanted to show to you.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
It looks like it's a circular shawl.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the pattern that made me want to put it on my wish list. I was like, I want...
I thought that's cute.
Davina would look really cute in that if she would wear it.
Yeah, it's fashionable.
It is fashionable. If I thought she would wear it, I would
Show it
consider
to her. See
knitting
what she
it.
says. Just say, look at this hat. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, because she hasn't had a chance to look through this yet.
Yeah.
So this is just... Oh, I bet that's Anne of Green Gables. Hold on.
I'm sure it is.
Did you see that hat?
Yes.
It was after this.
Yes.
I bet that's Anne. Let me see. No, Fancy Nolan.
I don't know who that is.
It's a tree grows in Brooklyn.
Huh.
I would have thought, especially with the red hair,
Yeah.
I would have thought that was an Anne hat. To be quite honest. I'm shocked that it's not. Okay. So, there is a lot of awesome. This is the one that is obviously a cover. Looking forward to that. I'm going to let Mom probably look through this in my gluten-free, dairy-free book to see if you see anything that strikes your fancy for birthday. Mm-hmm. We found this by accident. I was looking for something else, and it came up on my suggested. And Mom and I started looking through the sample recipes, and we're like, this is so cool. An Unexpected Cookbook, the unofficial book of Hobbit cookery. Really cool book. Can't really go through it right now, but think of really country British food.
British, Scottish, Irish.
I really want to try
Welsh.
for the first time the one they always talk about, the
Mincemeat.
mincemeat pies. I'll just have to find like a crust I can eat, or a recipe for crust I can, because I've never tried a mincemeat, and they're
Your grandpa
always
likes
talking about it.
I think they're sweet. I don't think they're
I
actually,
don't know what they are.
I think they have figs in them or something.
I feel like you might be right, and we'll have to look at this later, but like some of the traditional British foods they always talk about that I don't know what in the world they are, I want to try them, even though they had to be adjusted for me.
Bubble and Squeak and Spotted Dick and all this kind of stuff.
I think there is a bubble and squeak in here. I don't think there's spotted dick, though.
Keep going.
I think I have a bubble and squeak recipe in my Jane Austen Christmas book. Okay, this is just for when I keep track of what I do during the week for my show notes, when I'm finished with the other book. Don't talk to me, I'm counting. They have one for crochet, too.
Oh, do they? Cool.
Yes, I just went for the knitted one. And then this one, because I don't have the place on Ravelry to keep track anymore, I find Lovecraft's a little bit difficult to... You can't always find the pattern you're looking for. So I'm going to use this to keep track of my projects. And maybe I'll actually print out the picture for once. Mm-hmm. Davina looked through this. She thought it was cool. I think she thought it was an actual journal.
Yeah.
I was like, well, no, I don't really journal. I'm not a journaly person. I have to have a definite purpose. I can't be just pretty about it.
Okay.
So yes. We'll have to go quickly through books.
I don't think we should do books.
Okay.
It's getting late, and
Okay.
Davina has to eat.
Yeah.
It's 2:00. So
And she's been really patient.
she
I think
has
she's doing her chaplets or something because her door was closed when I walked by.
well, she came in when I went to the restroom. She came and
Mentioned
talked
that she
to
was
me.
hungry.
So she didn't say she was hungry. She just said she had finished the bathroom.
Okay.
So we need to get moving because we eat our main meal, our lunch-ish meal at 5:30, and we have to get going. And I still have to put those things together after lunch. So yeah, I need to. It's over 2 hours. So,
yeah, we are.
so we-
it's expected with the birthday.
So we did read and we did brainstorm a lot.
Yes, I
for
did
the
a lot of
shared
shared story writing too.
And we do want to thank everybody who commented. I don't think I'm up to date on that because I was really rushed getting my show notes together, but you know who you are. We're very grateful for your comments, even though we haven't had a chance to answer them.
Yes.
We are very grateful that you comment either on YouTube or on PHN. Probably comment later
Yeah.
back, but we just didn't have a chance to do it during the week with Talia's birthday stuff.
And then with the snow and stuff, I had a period of time where I wasn't feeling.
Yeah, and we had we had snow this week, and so I have to on a brief personal. I did get called that I have to set up my consultation with the rheumatologist.
Good.
So I didn't do that before the podcast. I have to do that later. So
Oh, I'm so glad that we're moving forward on that.
so yeah, so we're just gonna say that remind everybody who is a Patreon, we have a Zoom this Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a Zoom this Friday. So we'll look forward to
I
seeing you there.
accidentally sent out one of the notifications. I think it was for the live stream. I accidentally forgot to put the date on it, and it went. Brittany messaged me. It's like, "Did you mean to say you're live now?" No, I did it by accident. I already fixed it.
Yeah.
So, so thank you everybody who commented.
Yes.
We're sorry that the ending for this is a little rushed, but we have to get going for lunch.
Yeah.
And you probably have things to do.
I might let Davina look at the literary knits after eating. I think she'd enjoy that.
So thank you for commenting. We wish you a very blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, and everything that makes your heart happy. If it's cold near you or you've got weather, be safe and be careful.
Get a cup of tea.
Get a cup of tea or several. We hope to see you here again for the Flynn and the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 489.
9.
And that's a wrap.
Bye.